Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is a great day to be alive on this Legal Tampering Monday. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside me, Goody's number one supporter, which he wasn't until today, Kyle Wallace.
We're back on good terms, Goody. Keep cooking, buddy. Keep cooking.
Naturally, I want to dive deeper into how Kyle thinks he's cooking. I think he's working. I don't know about cooking. Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up.
There are some times where I look at a move Goody makes and think, man, he's one of the best in the business. And there's other times, makes me completely scratch my head. Keeps us guessing that Bryan Gutekunst, that's for sure.
I know Wilde and Tausch were asking this, and now that more things have happened, I do want to continue this conversation, very simply put. Are the Packers getting better right now? Are they better than what they were heading into the day? Alex Strofe is running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. Of course, YouTube. You can get us there and watch us and comment at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. You can listen on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Lot to get to. Couple of highlights. Over the weekend, Zaire Franklin was traded for a long-time big piece in the middle of that Colts defense, likely replacing Quay Walker. Rashan Gary, despite getting hacked last Friday, has been shipped off to the Cowboys, which is looking like a 2027 fourth-round pick in return. So getting anything from Rashan Gary is, I think, the move that Brad was like,
yeah,
me too. I was like, well done.
I was like, dang, I thought a straight-up release was the way to go on that one. Ooh, Goody got some good value out of that.
Don't ever let Jerry Jones retire. Jerry, you're great. You're good. You're mentally strong. Cognitively perfect.
Perfect. We might have to put together a gift basket for him a little bit later in the show to send to Jerry World. But ultimately, I know that Inikbare went to the Jets. You traded Kenny Clark as part of the Micah thing. Colby Wooden gone. And Rashan Gary gone. There's quite a void of talent on the defensive line right now and depth, which is not shocking. But the plan to figure out how to fill it is what I'm most interested in seeing moving forward. But my biggest concern is what the Packers are doing. I can't believe we're starting a show like this. The offensive line position is baffling to me. That is a group in which last year, end of the season, they struggled. Jordan Love was under duress. He was getting those extra hits put on him that you never want to see your franchise quarterback take. And if I laid it out like this is stop me if this is not factual. They are likely, Rasheed Walker, we haven't seen any news yet, but he's likely going to be signed as a left tackle for another team. That would mean the left tackle is Jordan Morgan, who couldn't beat out Rasheed Walker and had to play other positions. Now, I really need Strofe to go to the film lab and go to war for your guy that you said was number one graded Pro Football Focus preseason player of 2025, because he's an important piece here, as he's now likely going to be the full-time left tackle. Aaron Banks, who was very underwhelming and the highest paid guard last year in free agency by the Packers, was restructured, kicking a little money down the line, probably expecting to be here for a couple years. He's got to play better. Sean Ryan has played a half a season at center. He played 3 years of left tackle at UCLA coming out of college. Then played guard, both guard positions, coming out as a tackle, and now ended up at center. Was he better than Elton Jenkins? Yes, but he was the 31st ranked center out of 40. And they gave him a 3-year deal to be their center. And I think, as we keep going real quick, Anthony Belton, second year third-round pick at right guard, and Zach Tom coming off of patella surgery, which is no small surgery. We know he's very good. Zach Tom's the only person you can say out loud and be like, yes, I trust that guy on the Packers offensive line, as this is all about maximizing Jordan Love, who you paid a lot of money to be your franchise quarterback so he can excel. So I'm very not confused. I get it, but like when you are a bottom 10 team in pass blocking, and when I say all of those names, how do you feel confidence in this offensive line? And that's where, like, I was listening to Tao. She's like, yeah, like, I like what they've done. Like, sure, like getting a pick for Rashan Gary. Sure, maybe you didn't want to sign Barre for $10 million like the Jets did, who are trying to rebuild their defense. Not re-sign Quay Walker. They replaced that. But everyone that was on the field against the Philadelphia Eagles, I saw a picture of the playoff game in 2024. The only person on the field of 6 players in the frame was Edgerrin Cooper. You had Colby Wooden. You had Kenny Clark. You had Rashan Gary and Barre, and Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper in the frame. Think how fast that changed. Now, when there's change like that, my biggest thing I want to know is, what's the plan moving forward? What positions is Goody going to fill in the draft, and do they have money to make a move either today or tomorrow? So when you look at everything that's transpired for the Green Bay Packers, A, how are you feeling? And B, what do you want to see them do? 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line.
Well, inherently, there's just so many moving pieces going on right now. And if you were to look at each individual decision made by Goody, it's hard to argue that it wasn't the right one. Even the Zaire Franklin trade for Colby Wooden, it felt like that was a net benefit for the Packers to get your starting linebacker, that position now taken care of. Restructuring Banks, re-signing Ryan, trying to create some level of stability. That looked like a good decision to me. Then trading Gary for a 4th-round draft pick. I know it's next year, it's 2027, but that's
a win no matter what you look at it.
Win. Cap savings. You get rid of Gary, who clearly just was not the guy you're looking for, and you get a draft pick. So I can't argue with any of the actual moves. But it leaves questions and looking at how can this team actually then get better? Because you're talking about sort of addition by subtraction so far. I'm waiting for the actual addition. And when you're totally right, when you look at the offensive line, it's O and D line, which are now the focus. And to me, it's like, okay, Goody's running it back with the O line. That was my initial thought. But the reality is, I went deep into the snap counts of last season.
They're really not.
The starting 5 took 0 snaps together. These guys took snaps across the line, but a Morgan, Banks, Ryan, Belton, Tom lineup like that took 0 snaps together. So not only do you individually look at Morgan and Banks and Ryan and Belton of having some level of uncertainty, Zach Tom, we have no uncertainty except for the injury. They showed a level of, hey, what can they actually be at different areas? Now you're rearranging it and telling these guys, hey, all 5 of you now in new positions, get along and make this a top-tier offensive line. So that's a concern to me. It's hard to see how that starting 5 is going to be a significant improvement from last year. And we got a taste, I think, for the Green Bay Packers, the O-line has been so good for so long, right? You almost take it for granted. You assume we're going to have a top 10 to 15 O-line, but you got a taste for what a bottom-tier O-line does for you last year. Jordan Love under duress and inability to get the run game going. So O-line, I guess that's a finished product. You still need depth, but there is some concern there. But D-line, you've lost now 3 contributors/starters in Gary and Barre and Colby Wooden. Wondering what exactly he's going to do to bolster that, not only to just have starters, but to have bodies in there. So it's an unfinished product. I like the moves, but I don't see how they're better right now than they were in 2020.
It's still early. It's only 2:09. Free agency has only really been kicked off for a little bit. Let's not panic. I personally, so far, I like the moves. When you look at Zaire Franklin, yes, he had a down year last year, but when you look and see why, a lot of people are saying it wasn't a fit in a scheme that he was in. He's only a year removed from being an all-pro inside linebacker. So we're going.
I love that.
It's
a good move.
It's a great move.
We love that.
You go from Quay Walker, who's a guy who just wants to play football, who doesn't really, in my view, he was a guy that just say, snap the ball and let me go find ball. Whereas when you look at Zaire Franklin, he has a little bit higher IQ. He can be a little bit more of that quarterback on the defense that you may need. So that's why I'm happy about the Zaire Franklin move. So we're happy about that. Rashan Gary. Listen, Rashan Gary, the fact that he went from being cut, we thought, to him actually getting traded for assets. That's impressive. So when you look at the 2 trades that were made, and how often has Goody made 2 trades before free agency actually started? He's being extremely active. Then the Sean Ryan move, and listen, Sean Ryan, he stepped up and he slid into the center position. There is room for growth and room for improvement for him at the center position, but finally now in his career, he knows that he is the guy at center to start for the Green Bay Packers moving forward, and that is something that he hasn't had the luxury of having, regardless of whether it was at guard before and now at center. He knows he is a guy, so he can truly focus his entire offseason on how can I improve at being center, how can I improve in my run blocking, how can I improve my pass
You can
blocking?
admit
How
it's
can
an
I get better?
unknown of how good he can be at that.
Last year, I didn't look at Sean Ryan last season and say, oh, boy, Sean Ryan's getting blown up. He's having all these issues. I knew he was fine, right? Obviously, I didn't think he was going to get $10 million per year. But basically,
A lot for fine. But you need to solve the problem.
And I feel like the Green Bay Packers invested and solved the problem, and they saw something in Sean Ryan where they truly believe that he can play center. Again, I think Sean Ryan will be just fine. We had Josh Myers there. We were able to be okay. We're going to be okay with Sean Ryan at
But
center.
okay and just fine isn't good enough if you want to win a championship.
I understand that, but your money is limited. So you did what you could with your resources, and I'm not mad about the fact that we're looking to bring back Sean Ryan back on the offensive line, Anthony Belton back on the offensive line, and Zach Tom back on the offensive line, and Banks. So basically, you're bringing back 4 of the 5 guys that at the end of the year were starting for you on the offensive line. So I mean,
I'm not mad about it, but I'm not thrilled about it. But
you have continuity, but continuity from a subpar product.
But you go, I'm not mad about it. You're not. That's the difference of the tone. I hear yourself convincing yourself that this is all going to work out great. Will it work out? Yes, but to the degree that they need to get better from what they were last year, I don't know how someone could be confident that it's a no doubt that this amount of unknowns, as Brad said, never played together as a core of 5, and just how it's all put together with youth and a bad free agent signing that you need somebody to be better than he was last year, and Aaron Banks. Like, I don't know how you're saying you're not mad, which is very telling
coaching.
for Kyle.
It's called getting better. That's the thing that you should expect for these guys to do. Aaron Banks got signed to a big contract. He was hampered by injuries last year, and he significantly underperformed. They're bringing him back, and he needs to perform better.
You said 3 weeks ago they needed to cut Banks and Hobbs, and now you're Banks' biggest supporter.
Who said that? I just simply said
you're not mad about it. I'm not mad about it, but you said they should have cut him. So you're talking out of both sides
because of how much money he was going to make, and I really don't like the restructure because it kicks the can down the road. But I'm
not mad about it.
He made more money available for the Green Bay Packers in this offseason. The Packers are banking on he actually gets better and improves, and is the guy that they thought that they signed. If he turns into the guy that they thought that they signed, and all is true that it was injuries that hampered him, then cool. I'm glad, because my biggest issue was the cap hit that he had, but they reduced the cap hit, which makes it more manageable and freed the Packers up to make more moves.
Right, but they wouldn't have made any. They would have saved $900,000 by releasing him. They saved way more money by restructuring.
No. I'm talking about in the future, though.
Right, but you wanted them to cut him this offseason, which would have only saved them $900,000.
I wanted to cut him this offseason because I wanted to cut bait completely with him where they didn't kick the can down the road. The Packers went a different direction, banking on Aaron Banks to actually be what they thought he was. I didn't believe it.
So you're buying that is what you are.
I have no choice but to buy. Listen, the Packers obviously believe.
This is my point, is you're just buying it because you have to, not because you believe in it.
No, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The restructure allowed for the Green Bay Packers to have some freedom, so we'll see how it goes. And if the Packers screwed up, then they're going to have to pay the price down the road when they end up trying to cut Aaron Banks and they find themselves having more of a cap hit or dead money they have to hold on to. But overall, so far, it's good. There's more things to come, so let's not judge it. It's still early. We shouldn't be judging the Packers right now. They have a whole D-line they got to put together.
Assuming everyone's healthy, you'd agree this is the starting day offensive line. Almost certainly.
Yeah, this will be the starting offensive line.
And knowing that.
3 of the 5.
I said that will be their 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the offensive line is such a linchpin to the offensive success. I've got a lot of confidence in Jordan Love. This receiving group, the tight ends, the running back. I love even Matt LaFleur's mind. I look at this unit and think their offensive success will be based on this unit, and I'm not super confident in it.
We said they're a great offensive line away from being a top 5 offense because if you believe in the skill position players that they have, which you have reason to believe they're like all heading in the right direction. Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, obviously got to see he's off of injury, but he's a freak, and I think you have a lot of confidence in a guy like him. Matthew Golden in year 2. Christian Watson was great off of injury, and Jaden Reed coming off of his injury. We know what he can bring. His first 2 years, he led him in receiving yards. So there are a lot of things that you should be excited for the Packers, but you've really got to ask yourself when you're saying, I'm fine with it, or it's good, like the offensive line is critical considering how it ended last year for this team and how it ended 2 years ago, and they made all these investments, and now you're banking on a lot of youth and uncertainty.
It certainly can be good, but it's the most uncertain unit of that offense.
100%,
maybe of the team.
100%. There's still time in free agency, obviously, where they could bring in another guy that has versatility, where it's left tackles or guards. But I do believe they're going to probably bring in somebody else on the offensive line that's a veteran presence that will be able to probably push maybe an Anthony Belton or push a Jordan Morgan for that starting position.
What's the D-line plan? Who's got an answer for me? 800-990-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. Bye-bye, JJ, Kingsley, and Ikbare to the Jets. Rashan Gary traded. Colby Wooden out of here. Kenny Clark obviously was traded before the season last year for Micah. Who's going to be next to Micah, LVN, Devontae Wyatt, Colin Oliver? Does that sound like a championship defensive line? How does Goody make the defensive line right? 800-990-3776, and we keep you updated on all the happenings in free agency. It's Kyle, Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust Nortman
I'm sorry that I don't want to touch Ben's Peter.
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Yeah, coaching matters a lot, and we've fallen short. Those are the facts. Matt LaFleur's on the clock, man. And I know he got an extension, but I'll say this. If they revert and don't get better, you're evaluated on your results.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody knows, it's championship or bust. That is what Green Bay is. And unfortunately, we've had 15 years of bust.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free in 24 months with no payments or interest plus $500 off. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Kyle, Brust Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
He's a husband, a dad, owner of a gym. He's also a police officer. Staying strong and pain-free isn't optional. It's safety. That's why David Boardman's a QC Kinetics patient.
My job is dependent on my physical ability and my physical fitness so that I can protect myself, so that I can go home safe to my family at the end of the night.
But severe knee pain nearly took that away. Doctors said surgery, shut down the workouts. David needed another option. That was QC Kinetics. They told him,
we're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
They used David's own healing tools in his blood to help restore his knees. Regenerative treatments right in the office.
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week.
Trust the team helping active people avoid surgery. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman keeping you updated on all things Green Bay Packers as legal tampering begins. Matt Schneidman said on Pat McAfee's show that the Packers are bringing back swing tackle Darian Kinnard on a 1-year deal worth $3.75 million. Do we have his best highlight as a Green Bay Packer?
That was a stunning play.
One catch, couple rumble and stumbles, and a fumble, but no lost fumbles.
5'8". He had more than that.
More than that?
I feel like he was gone down the field.
The long developing play. It was hard
He had
to
like 20.
determine.
It felt like he had like 20 yards.
Was it really?
I don't know what it was, but it felt like 20.
At least 10. It felt like at least
he had
10.
to get 10.
It was like, I think it was like 8 yards. But
It
then
was
he
20.
lost the ball and he kicked it, and then it became 20.
That's 20 to me.
And then it all got called back.
Yeah, the way he was rumbling and stumbling, boy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I got called.
Let's go to Keith in Middleton here as we are discussing how the current state of the offensive line would be Jordan Morgan, Aaron Banks, Sean Ryan, Anthony Belton, and Zach Tom. You're up, Keith in Middleton, on the Carbless Talking Text Line with KBN.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just real quick on that Kinnard play, did you guys forget? I mean, you look at his left knee when he went down, how he did not tear his knee all apart, I have no idea. On that catch that you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Why they ran the play for him is also a mystery to me, but
the play wasn't run for him. He was just an eligible receiver.
I don't think that was designed. But So my argument with you guys is this. I think we're better. To me, we're better positioned right now than we were last year at the same time. We had the same questions, left guard, center, right guard. We didn't know who right guard was. It was between Ryan and the rookie Belton and other people. We had Elton Jenkins moving to center. We had no idea how he was going to do. We had left guard. We had just signed Banks. No idea how he's going to do. At least now we know these are the three guys, and they have 6 months to work together every day, and I have a great deal of faith in them to do that. As far as left tackle goes, Goody even said that he thought that Morgan had done enough last year to earn the job, but because Walker had played so well for 3 years, why would they change it? And so you know what? I think they're in good shape. I think we're better than we were last year at this time. We need some backups. You're right. But anyway, that's my take.
No, Keith,
Optimistic Keith.
I hear some of what Keith is saying. I don't disagree with all of it, but my point would be you may not have known what you were going to get from Aaron Banks in Green Bay, but it was underwhelming based off the investment you made. You may not know what Sean Ryan will be your full year at center, but Elton Jenkins had played multiple positions on the offensive line and was successful at every single one of them. So as a betting person, you would think that the investments in the people in those positions would have excelled. Now it didn't. And now you're betting on the same guy you saw in Aaron Banks, Sean Ryan, who, again, we said is fine and okay. Like, I get the continuity side of things, but if he thinks they're the same, what does that mean if you're comparing him to last year, right? Or like he's happier and you compared him to the equal of some of the unknowns he was saying, but how did that end up?
There's some unknowns last year, but these are mostly veterans. Walker, Banks, Jenkins, Ryan, Tom, all those guys were veterans last year. You add in Morgan and Belton, and Banks, we're still wondering, like, can he play too close to his contract? Goody must have given that contract for a reason. He must have done something in San Francisco to say, this guy's worth a premier contract on my offensive line. So he's got to play toward that. But there's certainly more uncertainty this year than last year between Morgan and Belton. And even if you were to make the argument, well, they're kind of the same. They're maybe not worse, maybe not better. It's the same. My concern is the same got you sort of a bottom third offensive line last year. And it was just a lesson learned that an offensive line without continuity, without playing in the top half of the NFL, it can really neutralize how good your quarterback, running game, and receiving game can be. So there's going to have to be some, again, I'm not saying take the next step. There's going to be some legit arrivals. Morgan, Banks, Belton, those guys have to arrive next year for this team to have that offense be all that it can be.
Yeah. For your viewing pleasure on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, Darian Kennard re-signs with the Packers, rumbling, stumbling, fumbling against the Bears in the playoff. Oh, he kicked the crap out of that. That ball went 15 yards off the kick. But it did go out of bounds, and it didn't matter. He is back with the Green Bay Packers as the swing tackle on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I completely disagree that you feel better about the offensive line going into this season than what we felt last season, because last season, you talked about it, Brad, is that you already knew what you had at left tackle and right tackle, right? You knew what you looked at guard with Sean Ryan potentially competing with Jordan Morgan. You knew Elton Jenkins, how well he performed at guard. You assumed that he was going to be good at center. And then you brought some reinforcements to the offensive line by bringing in a guy like Aaron Banks, paying him all that money. So the level of confidence and expectations were significantly higher. So now if you are a Packer fan looking at this season, you're talking about it, Brad, guys arriving. You need Anthony Belton to arrive. You need Sean Ryan to arrive. You need Jordan Morgan to arrive. If that happens, which you hope for, because guys should be getting better during their first 3 to 4 years of the NFL, then the Packers will be in a good space. But that is to be seen. So when you ask me whether or not how I feel about the offensive line, why I say fine because there's a lot of unknown. And again, the guys are supposed to get better each year. And Anthony Belton should be better next year. If he's not better next year, then I'm concerned with the coaching. If Jordan Morgan, now being the full-time starter at left tackle, still is trashed, then we're talking about he's probably an NFL bust. If Aaron Banks can't revert back to what he was in San Francisco, then that was an awful signing that you doubled down on by basically kicking the can down the road and making sure that you end up keeping him for another 2 seasons. So for me, when I look at this, I do have concerns with the offensive line. I would not say I feel better about the offensive line going into next season than I did like this season. But again, we'll see. But I do love the optimism from Keith.
I think Keith's spot on. I think the revisionist history is evident from you guys.
Revisionist history?
The entirety of the preseason, Rasheed Walker was hurt. Jordan Morgan didn't play a snap at right guard in the preseason. He only played at left tackle. They had to trade for Darian Kennard from the Eagles at the end of the preseason because they had no faith in any of their depth, which the depth is still an issue.
I was just going to say, so you move what was depth into starting roles?
But you have a solidified starting 5, which you didn't have last year.
What are they?
Sean Ryan's an upgrade from Elton Jenkins at center.
But you didn't know that, Stro, stop it. You didn't know that last year. Going into last season, you
I know
felt
that
really
now.
good.
And I know that Sean Ryan, over the 9 games, was good at center, and that's why they extended him.
He was the 31st ranked center. Let's stop saying good.
Yeah, good as a stretch. He was fine.
Well, he only played 9 games, so I guess I don't know how the rankings work.
He was fine at center. He was fine.
He was.
Are you going to give me Sean Ryan film now too, or are we going to add to Sean Ryan?
Sean Ryan was without a doubt, eye test alone, better than Elton Jenkins.
No one isn't arguing that, but you're putting him in as good as a half season at center.
But I'm telling you, it's an upgrade from last season.
I'm not going to kill this kid's joy. This is free agency signing day for our Packers, so I'm going to let you be in La La Land a little bit because I'm there with you a little bit too. But
I feel good.
Good versus fine.
Aaron Banks was not good in his first year. He was very beat up, and that's concerning given the lack of depth right now. But you can hope maybe he has a rebound year. I never understood I still don't understand your opinion on cutting him. That was never an option. That was never going to happen. He was always going to be back this year. They were always going to do whatever they need to do.
We did do the Spotrac top 14 cap hits, and you've let us know that the Packers would only save like $800,000. So it was like it was restructure or he was playing at his contract.
For the last time, it was about the 2027 season, not the 2026 season. It was basically
why would they cut him now for 2027?
Because you take the big cap hit this year, just like they did with David Bakhtiari and they did for Aaron Rodgers. You just take the big cap hit, and then you're freed up with money in 2027.
Yeah, but you want to win a Super Bowl now, Kyle.
The problem
Why would
is,
you
I
take
don't
a
know
big
that
dead
this
cap hit?
offensive line is Super Bowl offensive line.
I'm not disagreeing with that
and
necessarily.
that's the concerning part because they're so talented around all the areas of football, and you win in the trenches, and we see that in the playoffs year after year.
But there's still 7 teams that need a center, and there's no centers out on free agency, right? So you lock up the guy that you have. When it comes to tackles, there's really not that many sexy names out there where you can upgrade over a Jordan Morgan. You're happy with your right tackle, and then guards, kind of the same thing. It's not a great free agency class to begin with.
Again, whether you would have been happy with Rasheed Walker or not bringing him back, the idea that they're not is still a question mark with Jordan Morgan, who hasn't played that position yet.
Franchise left tackle.
And didn't win the job when he was drafted as a first-round left
Who's the
tackle.
franchise left tackle?
Jordan Morgan, going to be the franchise left tackle.
He's smoking.
This is the bet that Goody made for himself years in the making. Because you're right. I mean, yeah, they can't go out on the open market and really upgrade at center or tackle or guard. But this starting 5 is a bet that Goody has made over the last several years. So he's just banking on the fact that banks, very nice. He is banking on the fact that these guys are indeed the guys that he evaluated they can be.
He loves his guys.
But it's yet to be determined if they can actually be that.
He
At least everyone else
he always drafts on potential.
Sure does.
It's year 3 for
Sure
Jordan
does.
Morgan. It's year 3. Potential
Yeah.
better come to fruition now, baby.
How's that working with LVN?
Year 4. Time for potential. Rashan Gary's not in his way anymore. Big potential year.
I love the fact that he's making trades, though.
Look, it hasn't been a bad
Goody's a
offseason.
fun Goody, I will say.
Yeah.
This is a very active legal tampering period with because of the amount of free agents they had, seeing guys leave the organization, how he's replaced guys that are leaving, hasn't been through big free agent signings, but he has brought Zaire Franklin in and that.
Re-signed Nick Nyman, who I didn't know who he was until he got cooked in the playoffs.
Special teams.
Nyman.
Listen, he wanted to earn the right.
He got to earn just like Anderson Carlson.
Wasn't he complimenting the signing?
No, I'm just saying he brought him back as a special teams guy.
Just like Anderson Carlson, Anders Carlson didn't deserve his name to be said until he started making kicks.
Yeah.
He still hasn't earned that name.
Kicking in the park.
D-line, though. Spent a lot of time on this offensive line.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say, I don't know how, it's fine to be okay and not mad about what they've done at the offensive line because there's cohesion and you can look at projecting that the guys that you evaluate are going to be better. There's really no one on the defensive line right now. You need a lot more guys. And how do they make that happen? Other than trading for Jalen Carter, which would be amazing.
That ain't happening.
But I don't know if you can say that based off the Micah Parsons move last year.
Anything's
possible now with Goody.
Where are they getting the money from?
Anything's possible with Russ Ball.
Needs a new deal.
We'll figure this out maybe next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Dick Van Dyke, real quick on the cha-cha slide ACL, says she was carried out by all 5 of us. 5 people?
That's a big girl. A big girl. Yeah, that's a big girl who did cha-cha.
Stop it, Kyle.
What you mean? 5 of them had to carry out a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you can roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16,000 in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
Wisconsin, let's keep this simple. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, thanks for hanging in there. If you believe a beer tastes even better after shoveling the driveway, mowing the lawn, or putting in an honest day's work, Well, you're our kind of people. Wisconsin, it's finally here. Yuengling, oldest brewery in America, family owned and operated for 6 generations, and now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
With your Saganac Plenty Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. The Golden Eagles wrapped up the regular season with a huge upset win over number 4 UConn on Saturday afternoon. Senior Chase Ross played a huge role with 2 big threes down the stretch as he was honored for senior day.
Into the corner, Chase Ross, heat check,
Chase
good.
Ross, back-to-back.
Heat check, 3, good, Chase Ross. Didn't I just say that? It keeps getting better.
The Golden Eagles will look to carry this momentum into the Big East tournament, where they will face Xavier in the first round on Wednesday.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Legal tampering is underway in the NFL, and Goody is making moves.
Yeah, Gootmeister.
He has not signed anybody in free agency yet.
I mean, still early.
I mean,
Aaron
kind
Banks
of.
didn't sign yet. Who'd he sign?
You'd like to see one by the end of the day.
Well, Sean Ryan counts, right?
Yeah,
No,
internally. That's where he signed.
Aaron Banks got signed at like 3 o'clock.
Darian Kennard was a free agent.
Yeah.
He was your own.
You're your own.
He was in the same
Are you
boat as
having
Sean
fun with those two?
I mean, I'm just trying to justify it. That's all.
But again, we knew this going into the day, that it would be tough for them to make a first or second day move. So it is exciting to see all the moves that he's made outside of an unrestricted free agent. But again, this is what we haven't gotten to yet. We spent a lot of time on the offensive line because I really, truly believe that position, obviously everyone knows is important, but as good as we believe the offense could be, it only goes if you're able to protect Jordan the way that you need to let plays develop and cook. Now, on the other side of the trenches, let's go to the D-line. The conversations I remember most about the defensive line here on Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Of course, you can get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison. Was the amount of money 2 years ago, even pre-Micah, the Packers had 21% of their overall cap put towards the defensive line. And everyone that was part of that is gone.
Remarkable.
Which is fascinating because it means it didn't work out. Right? Inik Barre to the Jets today. Colby Wooden, traded. Rashan Gary, traded. Devontae Wyatt, LVN, Colin Oliver, Micah Parsons coming off the ACL injury, which I hate that it even happened. Packers that's such an unfortunate year. I know we're moving on, but gosh, they've really lost two of like the heartbeats. Obviously, Micah from who he is, Superman every single play, but like Tucker Kraft was the emotional leader of that offense, and it was tough to lose him. So when you look at the defensive line, Brad, what would you do? What would you do right now? Are you drafting? Are you just utilizing the draft and sending three picks at defensive linemen and going young? Are you waiting to get a 30-plus-year-old that we don't see Goody do? Because it's going to be hard for them to sign somebody in free agency right now.
Yeah, it's sort of the good news, bad news situation where the Packers are right now. The good news is we walked into free agency with lots of uncertainty, right? With linebacker and O-line and certain position groups, special teams even. We're like, what are they going to do? Well, Goody started to answer those questions. However, it leaves gaping holes at the D-line, and cornerback still hasn't been addressed, but D-line has now shot to the very top of the list to figure out right now. So for me, I would probably do something that Goody wouldn't do. I would sign a few veteran free agents, guys that are probably into their 30s, and I would blitz the NFL draft on D-line. Goody's known for this, right? Where they have a position of need, whether it be tight end a couple of years ago or wide receiver or safeties recently, and I would blitz defensive line, probably draft 2 to 3 guys on the defensive line, because the reality is it's not just true starters you're missing out on right now. It's starters plus depth.
Guys, you need some bodies.
Literally, but you probably need to acquire at least 4 guys. At least 4 guys that are starters in depth right now. And I just did the quick calculation in my head, because we're all like, well, at least I am. Well, this team has Micah Parsons, right? Which is huge. It's going to be huge in the second half of the season. We felt like, I don't know when he's going to return from this ACL. We felt like Christian Watson was sort of light speed, right? He came out of the field and played great really quickly.
He was great right off getting off of the ACL, which there's usually a grace period of getting comfortable.
Yeah, and so he had surgery in January of 25, and he returned with the first week or the last week of October. So it's basically 9.5, 10 months. Micah Parsons got surgery on December 29th. The same timeline, which is like a light speed like timeline, is 9.5, 10 months. You're talking about probably October when you see.
I was thinking 4 or 5 weeks.
You're going to have to play a full fourth of the NFL season without Micah Parsons, and even then, he probably is a little bit of a ramp up period. He's probably not himself until halfway through the season. So you're talking about the guy who sort of neutralizes everything, probably not himself for a full month of the season. That increases the urgency even more to get a guy, whether it be free agency, even if you have to wade in the waters of an older veteran or spend your your second round draft pick, your third round draft pick all on D-line. You need starters, you need bodies, you need depth, and you need an impact player, because I don't trust LVN or the other guys on your roster to do that. So it's going to have to be a blitz. Give me some older veterans. Give me some guys in the draft. You need to fully focus on that. The good news is a lot of the other questions are answered. The bad news is the D-line has never felt so unstable.
Yeah, when you move on from 3 defensive linemen, when the Kingsley, Barre, Colby Wooden, and Rashan Gary, you have to bring in some more reinforcements. And the young guys on the roster, you don't know enough about them yet for you to be able to depend on them. If you are going to compete for championships, the difference between an O-line and a D-line, at least on the O-line, those guys have snaps, right? They have reps. They have a foundation to build from. When you're talking about a Baron Sorrell or a Colin Oliver or Warren Brinson or Nazir Stackhouse, those guys are still very, very youthful, and they don't have as many snaps as you have on that offensive line. And you're going to need them to step up, especially as you transition this defense to want to be a little bit beefier inside with the defensive linemen that you have to go along with a Wyatt and go along with a Carl Brooks as well. So that is my biggest thing, is that the Packers are going to have to remake this defensive line, and it's going to have to be through free agency. You cannot expect for the Packers, where they're picking at second round, for them to have an impact guy right away on the defensive line. That's a hard position to transition to from college to the pros on the defensive line. So I fully expect the Green Bay Packers to sign some guys, and maybe, just maybe, Zaire Franklin's 29. maybe, just maybe, Goody is like, all right, well, I like him young, but
and that's
they can
the
have
thing,
a
though.
2 in front of it, or maybe even a 3.
Given the need for both starters and how long Micah's going to be out for, Goody's going to have to sign a guy today or tomorrow. Like a day 1 or 2 free agent. They can't all be bargain bin discount guys. It's going to soak up probably half your remaining cap, but you got to get a guy who's capable, because then when Micah's back, maybe you draft some guys, then you have a formidable D-line, but you got to survive. You can't be like 3-5 after the first 8 weeks of the season if the D-line is getting trounced.
Obviously, I've made it very clear that the quicker they got rid of Rashan Gary, the better. Now, Goody did a great job getting the 4th of next year from the Cowboys.
That was the right move.
Cook, Goody, cook.
Barre gone, but like, say what you want. Like, those are 2 guys that played a lot of snaps for you last year that you just have to replace, like, with somebody that's played that position outside of guys you're bringing back and guys you'll draft. You can't just go draft picks and guys that you have currently on the roster. If you are for real about winning in 2026.
That's why
when I say winning, not winning football games, but trying to take this to a championship level.
That's why the Zaire Franklin deal is so important for the Green Bay Packers, because he knows his bread and butter in the NFL. He's been able to, first and foremost, force turnovers, something that we didn't see from Quay Walker at all as forcing turnovers this last season, but he's known to be a really great run stopper. So with this D-line that we understand is probably going to have some lumps and bumps, and based off who we have now is not championship caliber, it's good to bring a guy who, regardless of the down and drop-off that he had last year, he still was good at tackling. I mean, he missed a lot of tackles last year, but he still is known as a good run stopper. So that is something that I feel like once he gets into this defense, he gets to a defense that fits him better, that helps the Green Bay Packers having that leader inside that can be a great run stopper, with Adrian Cooper be able to free to fly around.
The other interesting piece of this, too, is new defensive coordinator in Jonathan Gannon. So all these everyone has to learn a new system, but the best years that Jonathan Gannon had is when he had great D-lines. He's a D-line guy, right? If Jeff Hafley was a safeties guy, where it's like, I got to have my safety, he's critical in my defense, all the great years that Gannon had as a D coordinator, or when they had good defenses in Arizona, they had good D lines. He invested in that, right?
He did.
When you take over an organization like he did, the first thing he did was he went and signed veteran D linemen.
Josh Sweat, who was with him with Philadelphia, he brought him down there to Arizona. He had Fletcher Cox as well, Hassan Reddick. So he has some guys there, and he's going to try to develop that here.
We will continue to monitor and see what happens, but I think we need to send a gift to Jerry Jones. I mean, what a guy! Did he buy stock at the public sale?
Hey, he's a shareholder like me. Welcome, Jerry.
It feels like it.
Inside job.
It's great. It's wonderful. Keep him around as long as he can. Let's send him a gift for taking Rashan Gary and giving us something back.
Jerry.
Bring that energy next.
Jerry.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Caleb Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
What's up, everybody? March 27th, go get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be me, Finesse Antetokounmpo, my co-host, Tony C, and Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair. It's going to be nice. It's going to be dope. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be an experience, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's basically a party/podcast.
Yeah, we're throwing a party at the Riverside, March 27th, TALiveshow.com. Who's the guest again? Can I get a woo? Woo! With Ric Flair. Can't wait.
See you guys.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Yeah, I didn't think so. If you're feeling pain that makes you feel older than you are, there's good news. QC Kinetics patients here in Milwaukee are getting relief, feeling younger, jumping back into life at full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. Dr. Caravelli and the team at QC Kinetics and their medical professionals use the latest in regenerative treatments, backed by real science. Treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body and concentrate them right where you need relief. Nothing makes it more real than hearing the real stories behind QC Kinetics. Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. Alan is back to work, now climbing ladders like no big deal. All real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start treatment, the sooner inflammation eases, and the sooner the joint damage slows down. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is absolutely free. Give them a call now at 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. And Wisconsin beer fans, the wait is over. Yuengling is finally here. That's right, America's oldest brewery has officially arrived in Wisconsin for the very first time. Get your Yuengling in bottles, cans, and half barrels. This month, we'll be running special promotions with all Yuengling purchases. Stop in and see why fans across the country have loved Yuengling for generations. If you've been patiently waiting for Yuengling to finally make its way here, that wait is over. Now is the time. At Discount Liquor, we stock over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, spirits, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town. From unique craft brews to hard-to-find whiskeys and unforgettable wines, we're your one-stop shop for every occasion. Visit us in Milwaukee at 51st in Oklahoma or downtown Waukesha at Barstow in Maine. Discount Liquor, where selection meets savings. Stop in and grab some Yuengling.
Discount Liquor. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Micah Parsons' brother let his feelings be known as Goody traded Rashan Gary for a 4th-round pick, which is shocking. I mean, none of us could have had this actually happening. Thank you, Jerry. Just thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Micah's brother, Terrence Parsons Jr., tweets out, laughing my bleeping butt off. Hard to do acronyms like that. No. Out of everyone, this is who the Cowboys chose? Wow.
When I saw it hit my feed, I thought maybe the Packers had to give up a draft pick to send him out. Something like that. I couldn't believe, maybe at best you could get a 7th-round draft pick out of it, but a 4th-round draft pick for Rashan Gary after a clear signal was sent that he wasn't going to be back with the Packers anyway on Friday. I mean, Jerry Jones just keeps on making dreams come true at 1265.
I don't know what's going on in Jerry's mind, but all these guys, when we want to get rid of them, like Kenny Clark, that was going to be his last season in Green Bay last year. And what did we do? We got a gift where we were able to trade 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark to get Micah Parsons, and we saw the difference that a real great defensive lineman can make on your team. Rashan Gary, hell, he thought he was cut. He thought he was a free agent come Friday, and all of a sudden he finds himself in Dallas for a 4th-round pick. Jerry Jones, you are a special, special person here for the Green Bay Packers because not only did you give us Micah Parsons, you also took Rashan Gary off our hands, and you gave us a 4th-round draft pick for our troubles. Thank you.
You want to hear what's on his books?
$28 million.
Guess what's on his books? Rashan Gary, $18 million. Kenny Clark, $21.5 million. Micah Parsons will count for $19.23 million on the Packers' salary cap this year.
That's absolutely insane.
That's a fleece, Brad.
It is a fleece. He
That's
done it again.
That's a steal.
It's elder abuse.
No, keep abusing Elder Jones. Keep abusing him. I'm fine with it. Jerry,
In the football world.
In the football world. What else you got down there,
From a trade
Jerry?
standpoint.
Anything else we want from him?
I don't know that CeeDee Lamb guy.
Yeah, he's washed.
He's
washed.
Jerry,
I got a guy named Christian Watson. He's fast, and his daddy knows ball.
You guys might be friends. You can start a Twitter account together.
Yeah, something like that. I got a trade you can't pass up.
You got to make the call, right? At this
you
point.
got to. Jerry, while we talking here, what you think about Christian? Fast, right? Fast.
Really good off of his ACL. You could have him for 5 years after
cheap.
this.
Yeah, you already got George Pickens. You don't need CD. Send him this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what he would do?
Honestly,
You never know.
When you brought it up, I was like, you know what? Like, try. Why not?
I can't believe. So I wonder what the Packers asked for at first. You asked for a
that's
third
what they
round?
settled on.
They would say, "Hey, we need a second," and Jerry said, "Second." I'll give you a fifth. Jerry. You know what, Jerry? Fourth. Damn it, you got yourself a deal. Moody said, "Got it.
Put it right here.
Got it.
Hey, put it right here, man."
Jerry went back to his son. Jerry went back to his son.
Hey, Steven.
Steven, guess what I did? I traded for Rashan Gary. I only had to give him a 4th-round pick. Steven said, "Oh hell."
Steven said, "No, Daddy,
I told the league to stop calling you.
No, Steven's starting to get old too.
Yeah.
As crazy as he really is.
Yeah.
Jerry won't never go.
Thank you. So what should we gift them? Strofe, do you have the office of Jerry Jones that you could send something to on Jerry World? I was thinking some Palermo's pizzas.
The carbless, maybe?
I could send like
for those long Sundays when watching Rashan Gary.
We could send him some Kringle,
some Pine River cheese.
Yeah, some anything. And now I actually have a great idea.
Put together a gift basket for Jerry. So thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
You need to include in there like a smartwatch for Rashan Gary to wear, because Jerry Jones is going to be wondering, does that man have a pulse out there? I thought he was supposed to be playing. Where is he?
The Dallas Cowboys are plus 3,300. I should just send him $100 to win $3,300. On the Cowboys.
That's smart.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good deal.
I know it's a reach this year, Jerry, but just in case your team does it, I want you to get something.
I remember when Jerry Jones and the Cowboys traded Micah, and they're like, Jerry, you just lost a generational pass rusher.
Yeah, we got to be back.
Like, but hey, we got some picks. Who knows? Maybe we add a pass rusher. This is the pass rusher they added.
It's crazy. They probably had their eye on Rashan Gary last year too. They probably like, ooh, we should have got that Rashan Gary fella.
I wonder if
I saw him do that crossover move.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
I wonder if Rashan Gary's name on a real talk was like brought up in the Micah Parsons trade.
Absolutely.
And he's just been just thirsty for Rashan Gary ever since then.
started-
Wants what he can't have.
Did Rashan Gary have a good game against the Cowboys too? He probably had some pressures.
I don't know if anybody had a good game. I mean, both teams put up a million points.
That's very true. That's very true. He got them pressures. Can't get home. Zero sacks and tackles for loss.
Zero
after week 8,
sacks,
you said,
zero
Brad?
tackles for loss for 10 straight weeks.
How hard is that though?
You'd think they would run in his direction, or the quarterback would try to roll out and go right into him. Didn't get any of that. Not once.
Though y'all were mad about his effort, when he was in the backfield, I saw him doing them high knees running. He was trying.
Yeah. That's do the run where you want to make it look like you're trying hard, but you're not actually.
I'm curious, especially from Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace's standpoint here. In 2 minutes, as well as KBN Nation, 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Will you be rooting, and don't answer yet, will you be rooting for Green Bay South? It used to be the Jets. Now it's Jeff Hafley, John Eric Sullivan, and Malik Willis, who, if you missed it, did sign with Jeff Hafley and the Miami Dolphins. Are they your AFC team? Are you rooting for them to have success? Hafley's pretty likable. Malik Willis is lovable. Will you adopt them as your AFC team and root for them to have success? 800-990-3776. No people believe that we traded away the best quarterback on the roster. I'm seeing a couple of those. Will you root for the Dolphins in 2 minutes?
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Get yours today at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com. Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Malik Willis got a healthy deal with the Dolphins, 3 years, $67.5 million, with majority of it guaranteed in his first 2 years. Are you going to be rooting for the Miami Dolphins? 800-990-3776.
I know I am. I mean, I got one AFC team in the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You got too many teams,
already.
Brad.
Oh, I got the Panthers. I got the Jaguars. Might as well throw Miami into the heap because it feels like between Malik Willis.
Yeah, you did miss the Packers there. So you like the Dolphins over the Packers?
I'm saying this is a Packer-centric show. So in addition to the Packers, this is a fun team. Malik Willis and Jeff Hafley and John Eric Sullivan. The one thing is a little bit of a cautionary tale. I'm not sure we want them to be too good because it's just going to be another branch on the Goody tree that does better
interesting.
than him.
Did you know that they play at Lambeau Field this year?
Oh.
What happens if Malik Willis and Jeff Hafley come into Lambeau Field and beat the Packers?
Won't happen.
I don't know.
Oh, so you can't even put it in your head that it's a possibility.
No. That team in Miami is rebuilding. They're rebuilding. They're not going to be good next year. But I'm cheering for them. I mean, why would I not?
Wolf rebuilt the New England Patriots pretty quickly.
Yeah, but not year one. Not year one. True. And so they're doing a little rebuilding down there in Miami. They do have a great running back. They have a good receiver still in Jalen Waddle, and they still have I think Malik Willis will be fine down there. I don't know how their offensive line is, but no, I'm cheering for the Packers South. I'm cheering for anybody that comes from the Packers
South.
I'm cheering for anything that comes from this organization. Jeff Hafley brought me so much happiness, and he brought me great stability on a defense that was struggling for so many years under multiple defensive coordinators. So I'm all for them being great, except for when they play the Green Bay Packers.
Hang on. This was shocking from Jordan. Rashan Gary looked as fast as Stro when Micah went down trying to catch Caleb Williams.
Oh, wow. What a stretch.
That's disrespectful.
That's crazy to Rashan Gary. I didn't think I'd be Rashan Gary supporter there, but that's insane.
I hope he doesn't catch wind of that.
How are you a Rashan Gary supporter in that sentence? I was faster than Rashan Gary.
Okay.
Did you? I never gave up. At least I gave
fair.
effort.
I don't think
That's
that
fair.
you
At least I gave effort.
But you never got going.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
I never purposely went slower.
Bro, I can promise you.
Or Rashan Gary purposely went slower.
You would give up. I've seen you give up.
If I was making, what was he making? $20 million a year. I'd give 100% all the time.
You say that now.
You don't even get 100% of the gym. Too many rest days and skips already. Kyle, you're not worried at all.
About what?
The Browns beat the Packers.
No. I mean, you have slip-ups. But
it can't beat a Hafley and Willis, as Brad's mentioned.
I think they're going to be locked in for that game.
I think you want the Dolphins to be good, but not that good. Because if they're that good, then you're talking about maybe Malik Willis doing better than Jordan Love. You're talking about Jeff Hafley doing better than Matt LaFleur. You're talking about John Eric Sullivan doing better than Goody.
That's the one
that all of your disciples are leaving and doing better than the OGs.
That I probably can't handle. If the Dolphins get too good, and Eric Sullivan, if we have
then you had John Schneider,
John Eric Sullivan, and
Elliott Wolf.
Yeah, now then I'll be looking at Goody side. I'll be like, one thing ain't like the other three. Okay, what's going on? What's happening? How do we end up with the worst?
How do we end up with the pick of the litter?
Especially when John Eric Sullivan literally was under Goody. It's a little bit different because Elliott Wolf wasn't under Goody. John Schneider was way before Goody was even considered to be a general manager for the Packers. John Eric Sullivan is directly from underneath him. So that one would hurt if the Miami Dolphins found
Kyle's going to have a side eye looking at, what's going on over there.
Yeah, I would. But I'm excited for Malik Willis. I love what Malik Willis
but not too excited.
No.
We do good.
If they do good, I'm just saying it would just be a side eye to Goody. But I'm excited for Malik Willis to actually have an opportunity to be a starter and have somebody in familiarity with what he has with Hafley. And John Eric Sullivan's just a general manager, president of football operations, whatever he is down there. That doesn't make a difference. But Hafley being there, that makes him feel comfortable. So I'm proud of the kid because when he got traded to the Green Bay Packers for a 7th-round pick, everybody said, "Hey,
there was a lot of jokes made about him, and he's handled it all wonderfully from his first start at week 2 after just getting there and then winning in week 3. And I know the opponents were the AFC South at the time, but it's not easy to change your entire offense after a whole training camp and a whole offseason. After Jordan Love's first year,
he
was like, all right, Malik, go.
Offseason, though. He got
I know, and he got traded very late.
Yeah, so $40 million guaranteed?
I think 45.
Honestly,
in Florida,
the loss against the Ravens. Brad always looking about taxes. The loss against the Ravens. Malik was awesome. Like he was awesome. It was the defense that we all wanted to just be like, what the hell? I know Derrick Henry's really good, but this is unacceptable. And now we're talking about how empty the defensive line cupboard is right now and how they're going to be able to maneuver to make it, better than what it was. Not the same, but better. Everything needs to be based off getting better.
So if I need you here on this one, because here we know what's real funny and interesting to me.
Go ahead.
All I hear is Brad and Ben bash the Packers defensive line.
Bash?
Which position group do they need to get better? Rashan Gary sucks. Lucas Van Ness sucks. This defensive line gets guys. They suck. And then when you move on from Rashan Gary, you move on from Colby Wooden, you move on from Kingsley Enagbare, now they're talking about, but what are you going to do on the defensive line?
Sure, but also,
my gosh, how
you made your point.
Going to rebuild the defensive line was trash last year after Micah went down.
Do you want to? But here's my question to you, Kyle. Do you want to win a Super Bowl?
It's garbage day.
Do you want to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
If Goody didn't make the moves that he made that were so bad, and Nate Hobbs and Aaron Banks, he would have more money to do something with that. If they it's a lot of some of it is revisionist history, no doubt. But by not re-signing Josh Myers, he had to reach at that guard position for Aaron Banks. He never addressed the cornerback position in the draft the way he needed to.
Well, he didn't want to resign Josh Myers.
Then he spent But it wasn't part of his plan, but it would have worked out better because he would have kept Elton Jenkins. 100%. And so that trickle-down effect, although he's doing the right thing and moving on, he doesn't have the same amount of resources
Y'all hated the D-line
a week ago,
and now the D-line is gone, and y'all saying, well, who are they going to have? Well, let's see who he brings in.
My point is, based off how he's been the general manager, he's not leaving himself a lot of opportunity to bring in the right people to make it better.
I'm applauding Goody for taking the trash out. Good job. It was garbage.
He's done more than you have around the house with garbage.
It was garbage day to day, and Goody said, Rashan Gary, out of here. Colby Wooden, I liked you, but out of here.
You're not providing solutions. You're just saying garbage. You're saying trash, garbage. You don't have solutions because you're scared of what is going to come. You're not talking, Brad.
Put your mic on.
It's not working.
My mic's not working. Here we go. Thank you. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So you're right, and he's making those moves to get rid of people, but there's so many holes to fill. He's got 48 hours. He's got 48 hours to make a big splash. If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't select one of these top-of-the-market guys to help fill the Rashan Gary role, I don't trust him drafting on second round.
Fill the hole
It's
that was
gotta be
already
filled.
there.
Yeah,
he's going to fill it. He has to.
Yeah,
you
but
got to have a
with who,
53-man roster.
LVN might fill it. It wasn't productive.
Yeah.
LVN was?
No, I'm not saying he was necessarily, but at least he gave effort.
Both the offensive defensive line, they're just a bunch of guys.
We don't even
They're
know.
guys.
We don't
They're
even
all
know
just
what,
Jags right now.
We don't even know what their base defense is going to be yet. They might change to a 3 defensive lineman base set.
But you have, especially with Micah Parsons, assuming he won't be himself for half a season.
Sure.
You have nobody.
I'm not disagreeing that they need depth pieces, but
no, they just need starters.
Didn't
too.
they have nobody last year?
You have
Rashan Gary.
Devontae Wyatt.
They have people who have started games. That doesn't mean they're good enough to win a championship with those starters.
That I agree with. I'm actually with Strofe, where I do believe that giving Lucas Van Ness, if he's healthy, giving him more reps and snaps, you will get better.
Come on.
Wait a minute. Let me finish.
We have seen
the
Lucas Van Ness story.
I'm not crazy. I'm saying I think the production level, you'll get more overall full from a player than what we got from Rashan Gary. I think we'll get better player from Lucas Van Ness with more reps and more snaps. Remember, Rashan Gary couldn't even play more than 40-some% of the snaps during the season. He was coming off the field every single game.
Your bar
Lucas Van Ness is not
so
a finished product.
low for replacing Rashan Gary, which is true. It's a low bar.
But that doesn't make you better than what you were.
It doesn't make you a great defense.
I already had a hole, and now my hole's a little bit bigger, and I'm going to be able to plug it. It doesn't take much to replace Rashan Gary.
We're not clamoring over the Rashan Gary loss. It was the right trade.
I understand this, but here's the biggest thing y'all have to
Kyle
understand.
accepts mediocrity.
Wait, no.
This is what we've been through.
There's a transition happening. Strofe just talked about it. It's going to be a new defense that you're going to see. What they're going to have for that defensive line. Rashan Gary did not fit that. So now the Green Bay Packers have an opportunity to bring in
fit a 4-3 or a 3-4 or a 2-5-5 or whatever the Badgers run. Whatever that stupid defense
Good riddance. And so what I'm saying is, and now Goody's going to be able to bring in and sign somebody who's going to fit what Jonathan Gannon wants. So whether he brings in a beefy defensive lineman, 6 foot, 300-pounder, or whatever it is, to be on the defensive line that fits the defense, interior, that's great. Or whether he brings in a guy that's going to be a rush-in guy that fits the defense, that's great. But the key thing is that now that you move on from Rashan Gary, you free up money to bring in somebody that can fit the scheme better. And scheme means a lot in football because even if a guy doesn't have the ceiling of Rashan Gary we thought had, the fact that he brings in somebody who fits the scheme is great. Hopefully this isn't breaking news. This is update.
Kind of. I mean, it's not breaking, but it is an update. The Packers are releasing 2-time Pro Bowl center Elton Jenkins per Adam Schefter.
There's that cap you're just talking about.
That means they released him because there's another move
to fill the hole.
Yeah. Nope, there's another move coming. Market
of Rashan Gary's absence.
They released him because now they knew that they needed money to sign somebody else, and so they released him. So there's another move that will be coming in the next 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's got 24 to 48 hours to sign at least one, hopefully 2 impact players because this line as it is ain't good enough.
Goody, I can't wait to celebrate with you. On Wednesday, I can't wait for Strofe and I to celebrate with Goody for having
Dude, you hated Goody the last 3 weeks?
Sure did. And then he
then he did what?
Sure
then he did what?
Sure did.
Has he made your team better?
Defense at the linebacker position, the Green Bay Packers got
the
better.
linebacker position.
What do you mean the linebacker position? You just got a dude that was an all-pro 2 seasons ago. His defensive coordinator changed. He has a down year. But when you look at the last 4 years,
Zaire Franklin can be good for the Packers. So that's not going to win them a Super Bowl, Kyle.
It puts them in the right direction at the inside linebacker position. That guy is going to be an upgrade from what we had with Quay Walker, which will help make the defense better. Now, there's still more time to figure out what's going to happen, but the move of Elton Jenkins is good because they're freeing up money for something. What it is, I do not know. But
whatever it is, you're just going to be like, oh, Goody, I love you so much, despite that you've pissed me off the last 3 weeks, and now I'm going to be your biggest fan because I flip-flop every time I talk when something exciting is going on with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay,
you're a flip-flopping fraud.
Listen, maybe some of my relationships are back and forth. Maybe some of my relationships are hostile and off and on.
I can't imagine being in your household.
No, we figured it out. She understands me. She loves me. With Goody, we're off and on. We're hot and cold. And
I've been with you almost as long as her. I haven't figured it out.
Right now, Me and Goody are hot. I mean, come on now. If
You should
I
be
would've-
warm. You shouldn't be hot.
Let's get to Jason Wilde. Honestly, we're going to get to Jason because Jason actually will break this down. I want you to bring the same. Goody's cooking.
Yeah.
Just say that to him.
Well, I hope Jason's in a good mood because, sometimes.
So
when I
now
go right,
when he
goes left.
disagrees with you, you're going to be like, oh, bad Jason Wilde appearance.
I want
Let's try to yin your yang a little bit.
I want you to start with the negativity on Rashan Gary and I bet you he's positive.
It's not negativity on Rashan Gary. They made. You're just
applauded the
stupid.
trade.
It's the
Now
right move.
The dust has settled. We are looking at the product we have
I'm
in
gonna
front
let Ben
of
go
us.
first.
Yeah, it's fine.
I know he's gonna.
Go
you
first,
gonna set
Kyle.
the tone for Jason.
I will.
Good.
I will.
Good. So then I'm gonna get to then Jason. By the time he gets to me,
He'll be ready
me
to.
and
He'll
Jason
be ready to
gonna
just be
good.
like, oh, I'll just agree with Kyle because I want to get out of
yeah.
here. Jason will be next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
You said, oh, I'm really down in the dumps. Nobody gave me a compliment on my new sweater. So, yeah, we're gassing you up, handsome. You go, King.
Look at that.
King on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Starting off with an accident on eastbound 94, just about at Elmhurst Road, just past Elmhurst Road, right past Highway 83. The right lane is blocked with this, so definitely seeing delays with it. Eastbound is going to be backed up from 76th Street to Holly Road. Westbound slowing down just west of 27th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. And southbound 43, you're seeing delays from before North Avenue down through the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit GeistDoors.com and don't think twice, call Geist. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, and what a forecast it is. Partly cloudy skies for tonight, but we already reached our high of over 70 degrees. The low tonight is going to get to around 38. Tomorrow, back to reality. Morning patchy fog, afternoon showers and possible storms, a high of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. March is that time of year when a lot of us are thinking about fresh starts and maybe even getting a tax refund. And instead of spending that money on something temporary, what if you invested it in something that improves your home for decades? Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments and no interest. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today.
Heck yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stro for my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds. Listen, when it came to buying an engagement ring for my now fiance, I had no idea what I was doing, which is why I went to the team at Robert Hack. I heard her say words like radiant cut and solitaire, but to be real honest, I didn't really know what that meant. So I wrote it down, I brought it to the team at Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield, and they knocked it out of the park. It's true, if you've never been through this process before, the team at Robert Hack are absolute experts. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, Brookfield South, and Brookfield North. If you're looking to take the next step like I did, and your girlfriend maybe is posting things on her Pinterest page or is showing you pictures, bring it into Robert Hack. They'll do their best to duplicate a dream ring for her, just like they did for my fiance. Moral of the story, if you were like me and you want to start, you just don't really know where, the answer's clear. Visit one of the 3 Robert Hack locations in the Milwaukee area. Just like me, at the end, you'll say, heck yeah, with Robert Hack Diamonds. And RobertHackDiamonds.com, that's RobertHackDiamonds.com.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
He was not taken out of context. He said the whole thing.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I don't think that means much, though. Like, it very rarely happens.
Holding everybody accountable.
They need to be more mature.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. It is Legal Tampering Monday. An oxymoron there nonetheless, right? Like, tampering's illegal.
They've been tampering for some time now.
Yeah, tampering's illegal, but it's like legal tampering.
Were you tampered with when you were signing from Carolina?
Statute of limitations are good.
Yeah. Conversations were had.
But you or your
my
agent?
My agent.
So when did they
I don't
start-
have any.
when did
He literally reports back to me, said this is where we're at.
When
What
did
do
they
you
start
think?
that, though? Like, it starts over the weekend?
Don't ask too many questions.
I can't get too specific, Kyle, but yeah.
Oh.
Wink, wink, wink.
Wow. Well, Jason knows a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
These deals are literally, these are complicated contracts.
I was gonna say,
and they're done. This is days of negotiation.
Yeah, I was going to say, it didn't just open on Monday and be like, all right.
There's incentives.
Look at that. We got this big old contract done.
Yeah.
We're good? We're good? I'm coming
5
in.
minutes.
Yeah, $74 million at work, cool.
Yeah, uh-huh. Just a one-page document. No clauses or anything. Jason is not joining us. He must have heard me say something like, what did I say? I don't even know what I said. I was just having some fun.
He told me he'd be ready shortly after 3:15, and then the Elton Jenkins news came out, so he may be tied up. I'm working on it.
Oh, Channel 3000 stories.
Calling us back right now.
Those are always
so
ready
now
to
that we
go.
have a minute, it is interesting. So, like, I won't say when these negotiations took place because I don't know how what that means or whatnot. But things do move quickly. It's like for a player, it's a stressful time where you go back and forth. Like this is like every hour you got it, and before you know it, you got yourself a deal.
Joining us on the Yuengling guest hotline is Jason Wilde. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. Yuengling and Sons, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Jason, as I heard you say, legal tampering, a little oxymoron there, but nonetheless, moves are being made. Elton Jenkins recently just released by the Green Bay Packers. What do you make of the day so far?
Well, first of all, listening to Brad, I was thinking about this earlier today. I would really have a problem unless I was like, I would rather have the problem, obviously, of having a bunch of teams interested in me. That's what everybody would, I'm sure, want. But like the idea of the music stopping and you don't have a chair, that would make me so incredibly nervous about a day like today where you're seeing things happening so frenetically. But yeah, today for the Packers is more about who's leaving than who's arriving. And it's the opposite, obviously, of how things are for a lot of other teams. So Elton Jenkins, gone. Rashan Gary, gone. Kingsley Enikbare, gone. Malik
Wooden.
Willis, gone.
My goodness, it feels like the Hunger Games
Colby
right
Wooden,
now.
gone. They've got a 4th round pick, and they've gotten Zaire Franklin, and the compensatory picks. I think I just saw Tom Pelissero put this out with.
If Malik starts and plays enough, there'd be a 3rd.
Well, I think these are this year's, which the Packers got a 7th round pick, and that's it. Next year, this list will look a lot different. But to your point, Ben, I don't know. There's a lot of people that think they have the code cracked. Some of them they do. Some of them don't. Even with the Packers for this year's compensatory picks, There were those that thought they would get 2 7th-rounders, but apparently it's only 1. But Malik Willis, I'm guessing it'll be a 4th instead of the 3rd that everyone was hoping for. But they've lost Kingsley Enagbare. They're going to lose Romeo Dobbs. They're going to lose Rasheed Walker still. They're going to lose Quay Walker. So I still think they'll end up with 4 compensatory picks, which is the maximum next year. Plus you add in the 4th-round pick for Rashan Gary. And you've got a lot of picks, and you've also got some ammunition that if you want to trade up into the 1st round, so you have a 1st-round pick next year sometime, you'll be able to do that. They definitely don't have what they need to be able to do it this year, though.
Jason, we spent the start of the show talking a lot about the offensive line and, an area of clarity we were all looking for. But looks like that clarity has been gained to where Morgan, Banks, Ryan, Belton, and Tom are likely your 5 starters on opening day, assuming everyone's healthy. Does that leave this offensive line better, worse, or the same as they were in 2025?
Well, based on us not knowing what Elton Jenkins is, right, because we don't, not Elton Jenkins, not knowing what Jordan Morgan is as a left tackle, I think it probably leaves them worse for now, right? Because we can't just say, oh, well, he's a former 1st-round pick. He's going to be better than Rasheed Walker. Rasheed Walker was a really good player for them. Not always, and certainly finished the season with the game in Chicago as not being a great game for him. But we don't have any evidence that in games that actually count, Jordan Morgan is a top-flight left tackle. So I definitely don't think we can say that it's better. And frankly, opening day, and again, it would be really nice to talk to Matt LaFleur at some point. I don't think anybody asked Goody in Indianapolis about Zach Tom, but I haven't talked to Zach. But the idea of a guy needing surgery to repair a torn patellar tendon, I don't know if I'm brimming with confidence that he's ready for opening day. I would hope he is, but we don't know that for certain. They played kind of a shell game with his availability down the stretch last season, if you think about it, making it seem like there was a chance he might play. He was doing, Brad, what is that thing where they take your blood and they spin it in a centrifuge and then put it back in you?
Yeah.
They tried that to try and...
I don't know what that's called.
So they tried that to speed up the healing for. Yeah, I figured. I was hoping you might know. You're smarter than I am. But my point is that there's no way you can say they're better. You can make the argument they're about the same, but as of today, I think they're most likely a little bit worse. And your hope is that Banks stays healthy and maybe plays like the player that they are paying a ridiculous amount of money in back-to-back years, right? I mean, he got a $27 million signing bonus last year. I still think there were people that told me that they were bidding against themselves. So I think that there are a lot of people that believe they overpaid for him last year. And then the way they structured the contract, they had a decision to make on him. And, they decided not only to keep him and not only to convert the $9.5 million roster bonus he was due, but also a lot of his base salary. I think, according to Spotrac, it was all of it except the league minimum for him. So he got almost $16 million more guaranteed. So now you're $43 million
That's
into
a hell of
him going
a year.
into next season.
That's 365 days of happiness.
That's like you with your commissions on your marketing consultant gig.
Except for
right
not
around the same neighborhood.
That would
amazing.
be like getting a bonus for not hitting a sales goal.
That's a good point. That's a good line. You're right. So again, look, he was a solid player in San Francisco. If he's healthy this season, is he going to be better than he was in his first year with the Packers? Yes, I would say so. Now he is going to turn 29 on September 3rd. So I was going to say that he's getting into that age range where Goody doesn't want you anymore. But now that, Goody's trading for soon-to-be 30-year-old linebackers, well, we're changing the game. The game is changing.
And signed Nick Neiman back.
That's not really changing the game.
He's old. Nick Neiman, isn't he almost 32?
No, Zane was 29.
Oh, so he was younger?
Yeah,
Okay.
Neiman, I believe, is younger.
Okay. Well, sounds good.
Neiman.
Well,
Right, and poor Nick Neiman, by the way.
Only remembered for his...
Bill Huber had that story. No one has mentioned him hardly at all. Thank you for bringing him up. But, he's a special teams guy. So we'll see if Zane Anderson gets a deal too. But, yes, let us not forget the immortal Nick Neiman, who has been re-signed along with Sean Ryan and Chris Brooks. They've re-signed him too. Oh, they're making all kinds of moves to keep guys.
Yeah, special teams, baby, and third down back. But, Jason, with the loss of their 3 defensive linemen, why should Packers fans be optimistic about a retooled D-line going into next season?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they should be.
That's what I've been telling him. What can they do?
Here's the problem.
What can they do is probably the question.
Well, my issue is that, and I think this is something that we need to probably talk about more, and I probably need to write about, and it would be great if the new defensive coordinator who was hired on January 28th could speak to it publicly. But what is his vision? Right? I mean, they've moved on now from 3 defensive linemen today alone, or today, and I guess you got to include Friday when the trade was made with the Colts. But Colby Wooden played a hell of a lot for these guys, and I understand everybody remembers. I mentioned this to Kyle and the guys on Sunday Karma yesterday. We all remember how pitiful their run defense was against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. But going into that game before they gave up 307 yards, which is certainly going to ruin your average, they were tied for 10th in the league in run defense per game and 5th in the league in run defense on a per-play basis. So they had a pretty damn good run defense, and Colby Wooden was a huge part of that. And, without him, Rashan Gary, obviously we all know the lack of sacks, but he was okay against the run. And then Kingsley Enagbare, I think he outplayed Rashan Gary during the final month and a half of the season.
Snap count show that?
Those 3 guys being and those 3 guys being out of the mix now, what is Jonathan Gannon thinking? I know there have been some folks that have, murmuring that they might make a run at Jalen Carter, who obviously was in Philly, and so was Gannon. And they paid Jordan Davis, the other tackle, the defensive tackle. I mean, with what they're going to have to pay Tucker Kraft, with what they're paying Parsons, what they're paying their quarterback, Jordan Love, do they have the money in the bank? Because it's not just trading for Jalen Carter, it's also paying him. So I'll be curious to see if that's what Goody's got up his sleeve. But I'm not here to blow sunshine at Packers fans because, today has gone largely how we expected, and it's probably going to continue to go that way. But I hear the promo from Brad Nortman for KBN all the time that what a huge offseason that Goody has to have his best offseason of his time as GM. And Brad's not wrong. That's why we replay it over and over again. And now he's going to, once all the dust settles, and now they've released Elton Jenkins, so they've created $19 million more in salary cap space. Once all the dust settles, then we get to see exactly what they're going to do to replenish this roster.
Now Kyle's got a side eye down in Miami, looking at John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley, Malik Willis. They can be good, he says, but they can't be great.
That is true. I don't want
the Dolphins or the Packers can't be.
I'm saying the Dolphins can be good, but if they're great, I'm gonna be a little salty because that means some castaways from the Green Bay Packers outperformed the Packers after watching the Super Bowl with 2 former employees of the Packers outperforming our general manager.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm going to obviously be watching Miami closely too, and they come to Lambeau, so all those guys will be back in town, including Malik Willis. But I would certainly hope that who's the owner there, Stephen Ross, is going to be patient because what's the cap hit? I know they're spreading it out over 2 years, but it's like $98 million in dead cap money for Tua. And these guys weren't the ones that paid him. It was the previous administration. So they've got a pretty big hole to dig out of because of that and a bunch of other big contracts that team had dragging it down.
Jason Wilde joining us on the Yuengling guest hotline on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Jason, do you think Zaire Franklin is going to be an upgrade from Quay Walker? And how so?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't. He's a veteran. And by the way, I heard this being promoted as the Yuengling Legends hotline, and then they played a clip from Joe Thomas on our show. I'm just a guest on the Yuengling hotline.
You'll be getting an email shortly.
Legend status?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Just following orders.
Just wanted to clarify. Okay. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy to have a great partnership with Yuengling, which has finally come to Wisconsin, which is awesome. That said, we talked about this yesterday too on Sunday Karma, Kyle. This is a guy that in 2024 was really good, right? He led the NFL in tackles. He was second team All-Pro. He made the Pro Bowl. There's a reason why Goody doesn't generally do what he just did, which is acquire 30-year-olds, because he believes they're on the down slope of their career. Now, some of those guys, it's a steeper drop-off than others. I don't know what that looks like because I have not broken down film of Zaire Franklin, but I was a Quay Walker believer. And I think what they did here was allocate funds to other positions because they could not reach an agreement with Quay Walker. And Quay Walker would be making more, at least in the first year of his contract, than the $6.2 million or whatever that they're going to pay Franklin on this year of his existing 2 remaining years on his contract. I knew they wanted to keep Quay. Goody had said when he didn't give him the 5th-year option that he wanted to keep both Quay and Devontae Wyatt for 2026 and beyond. Quay told me in late September, early October that there was an offer on the table from the Packers and that he hadn't signed it. I don't know how much they sweetened that offer since the season ended, but I thought he played his best football this past season and was most consistent. But again, we don't know if he would have fit what Jonathan Gannon's vision is. And until we talk to him, I don't have a great feel for it. But no, I think Quay Walker's a better football player than he gets credit for. And if there is a guy from this group that they are moving on from, that I would be, if I was a Packers fan, the most nervous about him, really kind of blossoming wherever he ends up. Kingsley Enagbare is on the list. I still think Elton Jenkins is going to go somewhere and play guard and play well because he's not as old as the Packers make him seem. But the guy that I would be worried about going somewhere else and really, really playing well that I didn't keep is going to be Quay Walker. And I could be completely wrong on that, and he could continue to be just a guy or slightly better than just a guy. But I still think that he's such a good athlete. And if you don't, like Jeff Hafley explained, and I think like Jeff Hafley intentionally did in his defense, if you don't force him to overthink everything and you just let him play, he's much more productive.
Tough for a Mike linebacker not to be able to overthink when you got to process it. A lot of stuff in front of you for everybody
that is
else.
true. According to Strophy, to the Atlanta Falcons, you saw officially their Strophy? Yeah? All right. Well, he's probably going to get a chance to start there, but backup QB watch will continue. I saw Mariota signed. I saw Mitchell Trubisky signed. So who will be the Packers' backup? Maybe they're on the roster right now. Maybe they're not. We'll continue to follow all this and talk to Jason Wilde throughout the week. Jason, we appreciate the time.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations.
I was shocked Jason was down on Zaire.
Well, let's dive into our takeaways from Jason on the other side together, Kyle.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
We were going to extend more invites, but I just jumped the gun for some reason at the meeting because I thought I was being like funny and personable, and I just don't know how to read the room. I was like, oh, this guy who doesn't know me is going to think it's hilarious that I'm with Josh and I'm saying, hey, Josh, you didn't get the first round invite. Suck it.
In what world would that person find that funny, though?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We are still dealing with a crash eastbound 94 just east of Elmhurst Road. The right lane is blocked. Emergency crews are on the scene with this, so do be prepared for some delays stretching back past Highway 83. More backups, general though they may be, from about 84th Street to Hawley Road. Westbound 94 is backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 still heavy from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And checking the TMJ for a Storm Team forecast. A beautiful day today. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 38. Tomorrow, morning patchy fog. Afternoon showers or storms possible, a high of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Kyle Brust Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Prizes,
Flyaways.
even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. But you may have had your financial plans set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Big shout out to Jason Wilde joining us. He definitely is a Quay Walker fan. We'll see what Quay Walker does when he signs somewhere else. I look at it more optimistic from the Zaire Franklin side than Jason, because of the times we've been bringing up certain players that have been really good at that linebacker position that have done it past 30. Like 2 years ago, he led the league in tackles and was he an All-Pro or a Pro Bowler? Either way.
He's an All-Pro.
All-Pro. So you're telling me an All-Pro 2 years later can't be rejuvenized by a new system in Green Bay when Bobby Wagner at age 34 is like still kicking and humming, you know what I mean? So I like having the veteran there, as Kyle was pointing out, and as Jason was talking, he's a let-him-play guy. I think you need more than a let-him-play guy. You need that leader, and if you get a veteran leader who steps his game up from a down year last year, like that's good.
And one thing that Jason has talked about so much is at the end of the season last year, he talked to Evan Williams, and Evan Williams said what? This team lacks maturity. And so bringing in somebody, and not saying Quay Walker wasn't mature, but I don't think he is a leader quite yet in the NFL. He may never be a leader in the NFL. Zaire Franklin has been that. He's been known as the leader of that locker room or for the defensive side of the football for the Indianapolis Colts. So being able to bring in somebody that can be the leader, but then back it up with their play on the field, being an all-pro. I mean, it's one thing to be an all-pro just in one season where you just pop. It's another thing to work your way up to being an all-pro. Zaire Franklin just wasn't a one-hit wonder. He worked his way into being that guy. He had some really good seasons before that all-pro year.
Well, in Zaire Franklin, he's going to be a 3-down linebacker for the Packers. So he's going to be on every snap when it comes to the defense. Colby Wooden, good D lineman for sure. Now, obviously, there is a huge lack of anybody on the D-line right now, but he's a rotational guy. So give me the full-time starter who's been there, done that, and proven it. And Jason is right in one thing. His cap hits are low. $6 million this year, $9 million next year. You're getting that guy on a discount. So I think it's a good situation for the linebacking core. Does arise more questions for the D-line, but I think Goody's just trying to check boxes, right? Okay, linebacker, I'm done. O-line, I'm done, at least in his eyes. So it leaves big questions for the D-line, but I'm pretty excited to see what Franklin has in store for the Packers this year.
Stro, for your biggest takeaway from Jason Wilde.
I agree with him on the Quay Walker
That's
front.
a lie. Your biggest takeaway that he didn't acknowledge you. Forgot you were even there.
Yeah, he did say something about he talked to Kyle on Sunday Karma 3 different times, and I was there too. But it's fine.
You saw him get a little like, what the heck? I was there.
He went in our ear, didn't he, Brad?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening?
I was there too.
After the third time, I said, "All right, Jason, I'll go." Yeah. That was not my biggest takeaway, though. That was just the most offensive takeaway. The Quay Walker thing is something I've been saying for a few weeks, but now that they've acquired Zaire Franklin, I feel less strongly about it. But to his point, it's a new defense. He was your defensive play caller, the guy that communicated from Jeff Hafley last year. That's likely what Zaire Franklin now becomes. You don't got that many athletes. This is still a young defense. Good to get a veteran in. He's a good athlete.
Yeah, he's still right there next to him, man. I'm telling you, you get a solidified dude that has been in a position of leadership. That's what we need, a Zaire Franklin. We don't need an athletic stud. The athletic stud is what got us in the position where Lucas Van Ness is who we're depending on because he looked great, but he didn't even start in college.
Give me a ball player.
That's a good point by you, Kyle. I think what Jason said, though, that's something I said earlier in the show, was I don't know what to expect out of this Jonathan Gannon defense. Right, if they're only playing with 3-down linemen, then okay, they still need depth pieces by all means. But you feel pretty good across the line about Micah, Devontae Wyatt, and LVN or Colin.
Sure, but then you don't feel good about the extra linebackers that you need. So either way that it's set up.
You like Isaiah McDuffie. You like. I mean, I don't know.
This is what it will look like.
See what the defense looks like.
So what you're going to see is you're going to see 3-down linemen, and what you're going to see is like a Micah Parsons on the edge standing up potentially, or you might see a Lucas Van Ness potentially on the edge standing up with 2 linebackers on the inside. So you're still going to have basically 5 defensive lineman type bodies, but you have 3 big boys in the middle, and then you'll have 2 guys that are more of those Russian.
We don't know if it's 3 or 4.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. But I think
Gannon relied on those big boys in Philly.
Exactly.
He had 300+ pounders in the middle there.
He did. Removal of Enagbare.
Fast guys on the edge.
Gary, great D-line.
Removal of Gary and Enagbare kind of shows you exactly maybe what they're looking for with kind of getting rid of those guys who are kind of tweeners in between.
Yeah, if they're going to go
tweeters in between.
Tweeters in between. Nothing like repeating the same thing twice. Legal tampering.
2 different ways to say it.
Well, and one thing that's just sort of keep your eye on, that I've been keeping my eye on, there's of the edge rushers, right? Because you lost Enagbare and Gary. There was like 5 guys that were all right around 27 years of age that were going to be free agents that were going to be, probably $15 to $20 million a year. Would Goody go after guys like that because they're still young and they're in their prime? 4 out of the 5 have been signed already. 4 out of the 5 have been signed already. So if I'm not going to pronounce the names. They're not easy to pronounce. I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. There's one guy left that is that 27 age range who would be a top-tier guy. You lose out on him.
Just try
nothing but older guys.
He don't speak Swahili.
Yeah, well, I know Boye Mafe. I know that one.
Yeah.
Adafe Oye.
Oh, that sound good. Sound good to me.
Sound good to me, Brad.
I couldn't tell you not.
Quiddy Paye. And
I think I just saw Quiddy got signed.
Huh?
If I'm not mistaken.
Quiddy got signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying those are the guys
that are already signed.
Yeah,
got it. I was like, all right. I thought it was losing my mind for a sec.
So anyway, just something to keep an eye on. This goes back to the question of, okay, so yes, there's some level of addition by subtraction. You get Gary out of there. I get not paying Enigbari $10 million, but you need some dudes. You need some guys in there. Those would be considered guys to make this a championship level defense. Now you might be looking at veterans and draft picks the longer this goes on.
As Jason said, what's Goody's plan? Take a guess at his plan. 800-990-3776 as the fun begins on this Monday as the Packers fill out their roster in the legal tampering and beyond. 800-990-3776. Carbless Talk a text line. We wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin portion with you next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We need the final end here.
Yes, we do, Jason.
Oh, okay. Screw you, Ben Brust.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the biggest voices, all in one place. The Yuengling Legends Line. Exclusive insight from Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Game Changers, all on the Yuengling Legends Line.
Adam Schefter, so great, joins us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Like if I were a guy like Kyler Murray or Tua Tagovailoa, Green Bay would be appealing to me.
The Yuengling Legends Line on ESPN Wisconsin.
There are worse places to wind up than Green Bay for one of those guys.
Yuengling, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Make your fitness goals last with Johnson Fitness and Wellness, the largest specialty fitness retailer in the country with 5 locations in the Milwaukee area. At Johnson Fitness and Wellness, you'll find top-rated treadmills, strength equipment, ellipticals, bikes, and more, all guided by certified fitness experts who match the right equipment to your goals, space, and budget. And with white glove delivery and installation, plus flexible financing options, you can build your home gym with confidence. Visit one of their stores today or online at johnsonfitness.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucs game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucs in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucs.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Well, March hoops are here, and it is one of the best times of the year to be watching sports. And right now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, and suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you cash in. You can build lineups across basketball, hockey, baseball, college hoops, whatever you're watching. I like the flexibility too. With Flex Play, you can still get paid even if one pick misses. Want a bigger payout? Go Power Play. And with early payouts, if your player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Wisconsin homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. With our unpredictable weather, they need to perform in every season, year after year. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build everything around quality, durability, and long-term comfort. And right now, we're making long-term comfort easier than ever. Order today and get 0% interest until 2032. Not just a few years, 0% interest all the way until 2032. That means you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step of the way, helping you choose the right products for your home, your style, and your budget. And with our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident long after installation day. 0% interest until 2032. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Pat on the back to me, everybody. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Stro running the show. Made it 1 hour and 54 minutes without mentioning that I blew a 9-tap 300, which...
Woo! 300?
We were bowling for babies. It was great to see some of our fans of ESPN Wisconsin supporting our sister station 620 WTMJ. It was a 9-tap tournament, which means you only have to get 9 pins to get a strike. But the first 7 frames, 7 straight real strikes.
Perfect.
From your boy.
Perfect. He was on a heater.
Frame 8, I hit a 9. And I didn't want to be the guy, but I wanted to be like, damn the 9-tap. It's a charity event. I need to bowl this out. The family record is 263. And I don't want my brother to hold the asterisk over it. Now, luckily, after the 8th frame on the 9 that was a strike, even if I didn't get that spare, I went strike, 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 and then I got 8 on the last roll, which was a choke job.
He choked.
Choke.
He such a shame.
Choked.
Nervous?
No, I should have wiped the ball. I didn't feel good when I was standing over it, and I was just like
everybody was watching.
I wasn't comfortable.
In that bowling alley, eyes on Ben Brust.
You know what happened is that he was just thinking. Were you just thinking, hey, I just got to get 9 pins, not all 10?
No, I missed through it. Like it headed right towards the middle
for sure.
I wanted it all. Like I choked. People were you heard me. People were clapping after I was like, no clapping. I choked.
He did.
I was like, I choked. No clapping.
The ball because usually the ball went on the right
side and hit the pocket.
Yep, and it
overcooked to the middle.
This one for sure was already more middle. It didn't go all the way to the right like it had been before. I said,
This was a bad ball. And
then Stro tapped the head too.
Stro tapped my head. He touched my head. Every time I rolled and came back, I was like a starting pitcher. You leave the starting pitcher alone. He comes over there and taps me on the head twice. I wanted to throw him into a ball and bowl him down the bowling lane.
There are some folks.
Why?
There are some folks like Stro.
He just don't get it.
No, him and some other folks.
It wasn't only me.
It was people with cameras.
It's not even the worst.
People with cameras. Hey, Kate, you got 6 strikes in a row. Can I get some here?
They were the camera. I was like, and I was kind of a jerk.
He was like,
I'm not doing it.
Can we hear from 620 WTMJ Vince Vetrano this morning on News Radio 620 WTMJ?
So wouldn't you know the guy's good at bowling, too? He shows up with his custom Bucky Badger bowling ball.
Awesome.
Got a big W on it, and Bucky's on there. He's got his towel. It looked like Big Lebowski. Just
you look like Jesus, just polishing it up.
You said it, man. So all that's going on. Well, Benny has, going into his final roll, a perfect game.
You made the news!
A perfect game, which is 12 strikes in a row. He's on ball number 12.
I didn't sleep.
I choked.
Oh, last ball was an 8.
See that? No clapping for choking.
It would have been an asterisk. Because it's 9-pin. He did have 1 strike in there that was a 9-pin strike. I think that was frame 7 or 8 for him.
Wow.
I didn't sleep.
One of those things, you just never get it back.
But without getting a spare on frame 8, 265 was my score. Even if I got the spare, it would have been more. But I have the family record, and my brother is accepting it.
Good for you.
Even though it still would have picked up that spare and had more. So 265 is the official family record now.
He cares a lot more about his family record than the fact he blew a 300.
100%. I've been chasing that. I haven't bowled in 3 years, and I came and did that. Powerful.
That's impressive.
We'll recap everything that's happened through legal tampering in the Green Bay Packers next in the 414 Hour at 4.
We are still dealing with a crash eastbound 94 just east of Elmhurst Road. The right lane is blocked. Emergency crews are on the scene with this, so do be prepared for some delays stretching back past Highway 83. More backups, general though they may be, from about 84th Street to Hawley Road. Westbound 94 is backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 still heavy from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And checking the TMJ for a Storm Team forecast. A beautiful day today. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 38. Tomorrow, morning patchy fog. Afternoon showers or storms possible, a high of 46. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Elevate your home field advantage by designing it around the way you actually live. Mike Wood here from Callan. What if your home perfectly fit your lifestyle? For 40 years, Callan has helped homeowners like you transform your living spaces from energy-efficient windows and doors to beautiful kitchens and spa-worthy bathrooms, featuring superior quality and craftsmanship you can see and feel for years to come. We start by listening and end with a home you truly love. Request your consultation today at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products pricing and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
414.
Yeah.
414.
Goody.
298. 298. 298.
What was your score? What was your score?
56.
I think me and Stro combined, even though we had to share our roles, probably it would have, in the one game alone, our scores combined and hit 298.
Well, maybe the last game. I played well the last game.
He got 143 the last
139.
139.
I tried bowling Strofe lefty in the cosmic portion. Just couldn't find it.
Yeah, the cosmic portion was rough. I
Can't see.
I had 5 strikes. I played well.
Well, with the 9 tap.
Yeah, with the 9 tap.
But Strofe is better at
You picking up a
bowling
spare and having to get one pin is much harder for you.
I'm better at bowling than anything you've seen me do, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the bar is so low that, yes, like you.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
So are you better at bowling than you are like pickleball or basketball and all that?
Ooh, good question.
Better probably at basketball. I haven't played basketball in a long time.
Pickleball, you're better at bowling.
So you're better at basketball than bowling, you're saying?
No, he's basketball's out.
Basketball's out.
Oh, so
he's better at bowling than pickleball.
So you think you could still beat this kid, huh? We got to do that soon. That's coming up soon.
I do know that you are a dart shark.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
but outside of that, what would you say I'm next best at this?
I can't wait to beat him in darts too. Add that to the Strofe Does Sports.
That would be fun.
Great question.
That would be fun to take.
It's never good when it's a great question when you have to really think.
Well, you guys are like athletes. Like if you ask Kyle this question, I don't think he has a good answer.
I mean, I don't know what I can do. I'm just a guy on the team, man.
Yeah, same here.
Just I don't know if anything jumped out, you know?
I used to be good at ping pong, not so much. I haven't played in so long. Beer pong.
All right.
There you
It's
go.
been a while for that one, too. Man, how gross that
Barred
was.
ice.
Did you guys, by the time you were in college, did y'all still take the ball off? Did you actually drink it out the cup?
It depended where we were. It depended where we were.
You are
like
right, though. That
if
was
if it's a public party, it's water, and then you just drink out of your cup. But if it was just like us hanging out at our house, we'd use the cup.
Yeah, but for the longest time, like freshman, sophomore year, I wouldn't do the water thing.
Yeah, you build some immune
system. Thinking about it,
it did build an immune system. But then I was in college when there was a global pandemic. That kind of derailed that.
I mean,
bowling boys instead of the pickle boys is what Ben Brust and Alex Stro
Absolutely.
are.
Oh, you guys gonna bowl again together?
No.
I got in the car with my fiance who accompanied me to this event on Saturday.
She did. She didn't bowl.
And I
a
said,
single strike or anything. She didn't bowl at all.
She didn't bowl at all. She was just coming to support. Good cause. And I said to her, this was really good for me, Ben, and Kyle. I think this is really good for us.
Why?
You didn't put the photo up.
I got in my car and I was like, I can't wait to go home.
Oh boy, who you telling? Me too.
I wasn't I'm so glad I spent extra time with Kyle and Stro.
Oh, I felt that way.
Listen, I got to the point where everybody's kind of moving around waiting. I said, so what's next?
You said bumps this.
I said picture. Oh yeah, I said Ben, Stro, come here. Photo. Thank you. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all later.
There's proof that you were there.
I've been here since 10:40. It's 2:00. I got to go.
Yes, and then enjoyed a great Badger basketball win against Purdue right after the great event we had on Saturday. But the news of the day is Rashan Gary has been traded to the Cowboys. Thank you, Jerry. A 2027 fourth-round pick comes back to the Green Bay Packers.
Where the hell is the farewell post at? Or he has to wait till it's official?
He's still locked out. I'm guessing.
From
he's
his
still locked out of his account.
He can do whatever he wants, but the Packers will not wish him farewell.
The Packers have wished farewell to Elton Jenkins, who they also recently just cut.
Maybe the trade's not official yet until Wednesday.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
So then he you don't want to get hacked again.
Guess what Strove's doing right now, Kyle?
What is he? He's looking for the
He's
photo?
getting ready to put our photo up because he's so excited that we did something outside of work together.
Didn't you just hear him yell at me for not putting it up?
Yeah, I mean,
I did not.
Yeah, you didn't have the photo up. You said
he never listens. He literally never listens.
Only time he listens is when he steals words from other people,
or when you're saying something that you don't actually believe, which was the entire first 15 to 30 minutes of the show about the offensive line.
No, I believe about the offensive line. I don't know why you're saying that. I truly.
You believe they're championship caliber?
Well, that never once came.
Well, that's all that should matter to you.
No, I mean, but I can't
you cry each year about not getting to the championship.
Fellas,
seven seed.
Breakdown was fairly sobering as well. He said, "I don't see how you can call them better. Maybe worse."
The thing with the offensive line for me is that there's so
real
many.
quick, just to reset, Jordan Morgan likely going to assume the left tackle position after losing the first year battle after getting drafted Rasheed Walker.
First year battle, he lost the first and second.
I know, but he was playing better, quote unquote, that he could have.
According to Strofe?
No, according to Goody, he's like, he could have been played over Rasheed Walker. But if that was the case, you just play him because he's.
Goody's a lie.
Yeah, we know he's a lie. Aaron Banks restructured left guard, likely for 2 years. Then you got a center position, Sean Ryan, 3 years, around $30 million. Then you have Anthony Belton, likely the third-round pick of last year, who played a lot at right guard, and Zach Tom coming off the patella tendon surgery. Darian Kennard was re-signed for $3.75 million to swing tackle. I heard Brian Bulaga with Jen Gabe and Chewy said they need more depth at that offensive line group. So not only have we talked, both trenches need more bodies.
Yes, they do. They do. And the reason why I'm saying with the offensive line, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying these are going to be some world movers, some road graders. I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying is something that Ben alluded to is that now Jordan Morgan, who I do not believe in as being a franchise left tackle, well, this is your shot. This is you each and every week. This is your position to lose. Anthony Belton, you got drafted as a tackle. You got moved into guard kind of because we needed you out of necessity. Now going into next season, you are the guy at right guard. Sean Ryan, you were our starting guard. Elton Jenkins went down. We moved you to center. Aaron Banks, hey, you had an up and down year due to some injuries. Okay, well, hopefully you can be healthy. So you literally 4 out of 5 guys on the offensive line have something to prove, and they have that whether it's getting healthy or whether it's time to practice this specific position that you're going to be in or whether it's getting more experience. We don't know what to expect for sure from 3 out of the 5 of those guys. So that's why I'm not optimistic they're going to be great, but I'm saying, all right, well, maybe they could surprise me. That's where I'm at.
But this is a bad year to figure something like that out.
Maybe you can surprise
Look
me.
how good the team was last year despite not having a very good offensive line.
But
it's not about being good. It's about being great. They're stuck in the good.
There aren't many positions that if you don't get it right, it can completely derail your season. Quarterback's one of them. D-line can be one of them. Offensive line is certainly one of them, where if you don't get it right, it can derail everything you want to achieve.
It's boring, but it's the first time we've had to talk about the offensive line in Green Bay at this capacity because of the way it ended in the playoffs against Philly and the emphasis that Goody made on remaking it not working last year, and then kind of running it back with younger players with less experience at positions they're not used to playing as well in a Sean Ryan who played a half a year at center.
Well, in that 2024 season at the end, that was the first time I can remember thinking to myself, man, the Packers offensive line is not great or elite. I feel like they've been great or elite for like 15 years. Ever since the Super Bowl in 2010, when they had a really good O-line there, Bryan Bulaga, who's going to join us at the end of the hour, sort of being a part of that anchor. But from 2009 all the way to 2024, it's like 15 years of really, really good offensive lines. You can set it and forget it and know that they're going to be just fine. And it was franchise left tackle.
Yeah, it's not fun to have to watch to see if your offensive line is good. It's fun. The way the Packers have been so fun to watch is you knew that they were going to be solid. You've had great quarterbacks, and then you get to see what the offensive masterminds put together with the talent they have around that team.
Yeah, something that I'm interested in, and I'm interested to see when Goody drafts an offensive lineman, because I do believe that you have to bring in somebody, so that second, third, or maybe even fourth round, but for sure by that third round or fourth round, I would love to see him draft a center or guard, because you got to bring in some competition for Anthony Belton. Because Belton can also play tackle as well, so they claim. I don't believe so. But bring in somebody, right? Whether it's a tackle or a guard, bring in somebody who's drafted in round 2, 3, or 4 that can maybe surprise you. Because a lot of times when you look at the history of the Green Bay Packers, Sean Ryan himself, I believe, was a 3rd round pick. Zach Tom was a 4th round pick. Elton Jenkins, I believe, was a 3rd round pick. David Bakhtiari might have been a 4th round pick. So you can find guys that can be potential starters in that 2nd to 4th round. So I do expect the Packers, based off how things are shaking out, to draft an offensive lineman early who can hopefully come in here and at least push somebody. I don't want these guys to feel comfortable and settled. I don't want Anthony Belton to feel settled. I want Anthony Belton to know he's the number 1 guy, but he has to continue to earn it.
It's hard to do that when you have no one behind you to take it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to bring in a guy in that 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round that can come in and at least compete and push. And maybe you might find a diamond in the rough.
But you
again,
also need to use those 2nd,
picks,
3rd, 4th for D-line. We haven't even talked about cornerback. We're basically assuming they're just going to roll everything back.
that has been lost in translation.
There is a lot of things, and that's why I'm saying free agency has only started today. By Wednesday, the Packers need to address the D-line and the corner position. I do believe that they're going to address the D-line because they're looking for fits now. I think right now what you're seeing is they're looking for fits to fit what Jonathan Gannon wants to do on the defensive line. That's why I think corner will be addressed in the draft, and I think offensive line depth will probably be addressed in the draft, because them bringing.
But what about
Darian
defensive
Kennard
line and the lack of picks that you have normally from what you normally have from a Green Bay Packers standpoint?
I believe D-line will be addressed in the free agency. If they don't address D-line in free agency, I'm going to be concerned. They already last year drafted Colin Oliver, they drafted Brinson, and they drafted Baron Sorrell. They went deep for the D-line.
Hope that those guys can be contributors.
Exactly. So and then they brought it, and then Nazir Stackhouse, I believe, was signed as an undrafted free agent. But
99 will shine needs to be 99 needs to shine.
Exactly, and so I'm saying last year they went deep with getting young defensive linemen. That's why I look at the cornerback position as something they're going to address in the draft, and then also the offensive line position they're going to address in the draft more so than D-line. Whatever they do in the D-line now, I think will come from free agency.
Well, and Elton Jenkins just released. That's $20 million right there. Technically, the Packers didn't have to do that, so hopefully what it means is something is brewing, negotiations happening. Where I said it before, if over the next 24 to 48 hours, there is not a splash D-line signing, again, it's a true starter, then you're basically just hoping that bargain bin veterans and draft picks are able to bridge the gap, which they might be able to, but you're really putting a lot of faith in Devontae Wyatt being at the top of his game, Micah Parsons coming back sooner and being better than we think he's going to be earlier than he's going to be. There's a lot of question marks and holes on that D-line still.
I do like the versatility of Lucas Van Ness still.
Kyle.
No, wait a minute. I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying the versatility.
You just keep saying things that I know, but he just keeps saying things to get him excited about the potential of what things can maybe happen.
Listen, I'm with
Ben
Stro.
and Brad, you guys are very fast to write people off. Very fast.
Lucas Van Ness has been in the league for 3 years.
It's March.
Hurt last year. In the year before.
See, you're doing the smile thing.
No, I'm just that's the truth. Did he not have a foot injury last year?
He had a foot injury.
He did, but
and then the previous year he was hurt as well. Hurt his thumb.
Not once shown any capabilities of being an elite player.
No, well, I saw
not
him do
even
a nice
one
little
play.
bull rush. No.
Not one play.
That's just a hater.
Now I'm Team Kyle and Stro. You gone too far now.
Has he shown one play where you're like,
he was? Believe it or not, he was the best defensive lineman. Which he was like the only bright spot of that Ravens debacle in Week 17. He was great
because he can run fit.
Okay,
that's it. And they still got run over like crazy because he is strong.
Peep this. Okay, I'm just
Peep
telling
it, Brad.
I'm just telling y'all. I don't expect Lucas is not going to get the 5th-year option, and I don't expect him to be on the Packers roster in 2027. But I do believe if he stays healthy, he will be serviceable. I've written him off.
Okay, I agree.
Contract year, he's going to get up.
Okay, I agree. He won't be, like, awful, but he's a guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
He's a guy.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Brad, he's a hater.
He's a guy. He showed me a play where he's been more than a guy.
That's a good question. Why hasn't Gannon done a press conference yet?
I don't know. It's a brilliant question.
Thank you, Jay, on the Carbus Talking text line, because, like, Halfley gave an electric one where he had that sound clip of what he wants in a safety.
Just another example of Ben Brust not listening. Jason spent 90 seconds on this during his appearance earlier.
I was looking up information on Free Agent Frenzy.
Protecting him because he was kind of weird in front of the media. But Halfley, he's like, get up there in front of the media, pal. You're going to do great.
Yeah.
They have a new special teams coordinator to introduce, too. He hasn't talked yet either.
Yeah, maybe things are changing around. Maybe we ain't worried about talking. We worry about action. We about that action.
They might do it before the draft or something.
Yeah, that action.
Yeah.
We'll see how much action that Goody keeps putting forth here throughout the rest of the day and moving forward. But Grimal & Associates has been an amazing partner and an amazing place for me to switch what I'm doing with my family from a home and auto standpoint. Better coverage, American Family Insurance back coverage that I can go to their team in the greater Milwaukee area for over 30 years. Mandy runs the shop, teamgrimal.com, teamgramoll.com. Just inquire about what they can do, because I was just like with someone else. I was like, yeah, it's happening. But then I'm like, I actually want to really protect the assets that I have with the growing family. And so what we were able to work out made so much sense for where our family is at, and I cannot wait to continue to work with Grimal & Associates. That's teamgrimal.com, team, Gramoll. Ask for Mandy. She's amazing. Yes, Kyle?
It is hilarious that you did bring up the texter about the whole press conference thing, because
you get a new audience every segment, and sometimes I'm part of it.
No, because Jason,
sometimes I'm catching up on information
I brought
too.
It up before Jason, because I said we don't know what he's going to run yet, and then Jason said
I knew that,
and then Jason was complaining about how he hasn't talked to him yet, and then
he hasn't talked to me either. So how am I supposed to know? Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Do you think?
Nope. On
ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Everything's cleared up with this accident eastbound 94 at about Elmhurst Road in Waukesha County. Unfortunately, we do have pretty hefty delays left over, pretty much from Genesee Street all the way through to Elmhurst. More delays then, as usual, from about 76th Street to Hawley Road. Westbound 94 slow from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And 41 southbound slowing down from Silver Spring to Hampton and just south of Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 38. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, chilly. Showers likely by evening, a chance for thunderstorms, a high of 42. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more. Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Spring is here, and living with your old, drafty, foggy, dirty, hard-to-open, bad windows is no longer an option. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring. They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that? Ever more.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore. Just $998. Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Nothing can be as frustrating as feeling pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, especially when it's long-term, when you feel like you've explored everything, but you haven't explored everything unless you've talked to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use cellular level, backed by advanced science, to be able to give you the healing that you need, all at the cellular level, and giving you that pain relief that requires no downtime, no drugs, no surgery, just feeling back to where you want to be. How about a little testimonies to get the juices flowing and remembering how you used to feel? Thinking like Mike is a real testimony from QC Kinetics, who's training for a marathon, who gave up running. Even Kathy walked around Disney. Cafe! Kids. But she's probably riding Space Mountain, going back and forth, enjoying every bit of it, and Alan's back to work. He's enjoying life and climbing ladders that are bigger than he was on before. You could be the next testimony that I'm talking about on KBN when you visit QC Kinetics. Get your free consultation and see what they can do for you. Give QC Kinetics a call today at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Man, oh man. Lost in the shuffle of looking at the Packers offensive line after re-signing Sean Ryan, restructuring Aaron Banks, assuming Jordan Morgan the role of left tackle, and Anthony Belton of right guard, and obviously Zach Tom at right tackle.
Talking about how Rashan Gary, gone. Kingsley Enagbare, gone. Colby Wooden, gone. Nate Hobbs Carrington Valentine, and Keyshawn Nixon.
Still your guys. Less pass rush to give them less time.
There's a kid who was just balling in college that's going to be our new hero. Our hero will be a 21, 22, 23-year-old rookie.
Kyle?
Yeah, let me ask. I was just going to make this a little more simple from we're just going to draft and draft and draft. I guess there's still things that can happen. We do know that.
Yeah.
They released Elton Jenkins. There's things that will happen. But if I were to tell you, this is what you have right now, you have to make a draft selection in the second round. What is the position that you are selecting?
I'm going with corners, a deep draft of corners. I'm going with corner. I'm going with a corner.
Knowing what you know.
Knowing what you know right now, and nothing changed.
I'm going with a corner.
You're not going with an edge rusher after moving on with Enik Barre.
For some reason, y'all think that
Rashan Gary.
Y'all think Mike is not coming back until October?
I think it's fair to assume
Micah's coming
week
back
3,
September.
week 4.
That's September still.
And do you think he's coming
September.
back with a full workload?
I don't know. Just knowing Michael Parsons is
he's a freak.
monster. He's a beast.
He's unbelievable.
And usually, Brad, me and you both tore our ACLs. By the time you get to month number 8 or 9, you feel good. You feel normal. Do you not? I mean, obviously, you mentally have to get over that hurdle, but you feel pretty normal at that point. And knowing Michael Parsons, who, no shot at you, you guys are two different type of NFL players.
Hey.
And so I just really feel like he's going to be extremely hungry, extremely aggressive, and he's going to try to shock the world and be ready by week 1. Will he actually be there week 1? Not sure. But look, Jason Tatum just came back from an Achilles injury.
Well, okay,
that's a lot different.
Achilles injury in the NBA coming back after 10 months is impressive.
Let's say he's back week 2 and he's playing Michael Parsons.
They have Jaylen Brown and Derek White. The Packers don't have the equivalent of superstars on the defensive line next to said player.
I'm talking about the ability to play.
Get it.
And I think
but you need more than just Micah. We know they need more than just Micah. We saw what they were with just Micah. It was good, but not good enough.
Where we're at with the defensive line, what I'm saying is this, is that if your defensive line is going to be lackluster, if you're not able to add a guy that's going to be instant impact guy across from Michael Parsons, then I would want to get a corner in there that can lock down some type of number 1 receiver. Not saying there's a corner in the draft that's going to be able to lock down day 1, but there are some corners in the draft, especially early, that have the potential to be your next Jair Alexander type guy. That's all I'm saying. So based off of that, I'm going with a cornerback early because we need to solidify that position. Micah's going to be here for a while. And when Micah's there, he covers up for all the garbage that might be around him.
That's unfair. Like, he doesn't just need to cover up.
Life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. We need a corner. I'm just telling you right now.
Is it worth noting that Eric Stokes did get his 3-year, $30 million after his season with the Raiders?
What a reclamation story. That is remarkable. We wanted him out of town like crazy.
He had 1,000 snaps without touching a football.
Bro, he still has 1,000 snaps without touching the football.
Maybe they're not throwing his way anymore.
He hasn't picked off
Stokes Island.
He hasn't picked off a pass since his rookie year. Like that, I'm telling y'all this right now.
They're scared. They're scared.
The Raiders made a mistake, but that's what the Raiders do.
$30
million after one season, that's a huge mistake.
Brad, your first selection in the second round, knowing you know, just if you had to make it right now.
D-line.
Yeah.
D-line.
Strofe? Yeah. Had to make it right now. Don't do that. I know things are going to happen. Just right now.
Anything on defense, to be honest. Just give me a defensive player.
Not a safety.
It's
not a safety.
Or linebacker.
I don't know that I'd get angry at a linebacker.
That's if they run a 3-4.
Specifically that, yeah. Probably D tackle though. It's so weak right now. I like some of those pieces, but they're so thin.
The argument that I can make for D tackle over defensive end, and again, without looking up best available or where it's heaviest.
Defensive end would rank third. I'd put corner above defensive end.
You're crazy.
Because what you got? Yeah, LBN.
He's not.
But what I was going to add,
crazy because
he's not crazy. But that's what I was going to add as well. Is
true,
they did make investments at drafting at that position. But what we know about the Packers is when they have a deficit at a certain position, just because they drafted it once doesn't mean they're not going to draft it again. We've seen influx of drafts of wide receivers, and then wide receivers the next draft, right? Like until they nail a position group, they're not afraid to throw a lot of their draft capital at a certain position. And that one's very important, as we know. But we'll see.
Well, in D-line,
this was just an exercise because there's a lot more that can be done here.
But D-line is so unique. It's not like it's the O-line where it's like these are our 5 starters, and if you're 6, unless somebody get injured, you're not getting snaps. D-line is rotational by nature. So you're talking about there's probably going to be 7 D linemen that get snaps. I don't feel great about the top 7 guys right now. Now,
are there 7?
The moves will be made. I'm sure that you're going to have a free agent signing here or there. But the Packers don't have an abundance of cap. They have more now with the Elton Jenkins release. So I'll be curious if Goody goes for a big splash, which those splashes are running out. You're going to sign a guy for $15 million a year, or are you going to try to sign 3 guys that are $5 to $8 million a year?
Yeah, I just think we're forgetting how bad the cornerback room was last year. I think we're forgetting Carrington Valentine got benched because he could not tackle, and then the guy that came in to try to tackle for him ended up getting his ankle destroyed.
No one's forgetting it, but you still have 3 guys that played last year, and you just got rid of an outflow of guys that played at defensive line.
Good. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Keyshawn Nixon had like 4 deflected passes in one game. He was not.
You know why he
good
was
enough.
able to do that?
Because Michael Parsons. But yes, because
and you
Michael
need more.
Parsons. And Michael,
you need more.
No. It's because of Michael Parsons.
Yes, I know.
It's because of
but
Michael,
what I'm saying,
and Michael will be back.
And all it is just Micah. And if you get more to help Micah, then you don't have to rely on using a cornerback.
Easy. I'm just telling you this right now. I would rather walk into the season. I would rank our defensive line currently where it's at because, of course, you got Micah Parsons better than what we have at the corner position. The Packers' cornerback position was lackluster. I think all the corners rated like 50th or worse or 70th or worse in Pro Football Focus last year. Like that's not good enough, fellas. It's not.
The other interesting wrinkle to the cornerback room to help Kyle's argument, you got Carrington Valentine on the last year of his deal. Nate Hobbs certainly won't be around unless he balls out after this year. And I think Keyshawn Nixon only has 1 year left of his deal, too. All 3 starters have 1 year left on their deal. We know Goody likes to think ahead, and it leads me to believe that maybe Kyle's right. No, I still D-line.
No. Maybe Kyle's on to something.
Still the way to go.
Maybe Kyle is on to something.
Kyle's on to something. D-line is still the way to go.
I think Kyle is on to something.
Oh, wait. The Brad old voice.
Ooh. I think Kyle is on to something.
Whoa.
I like old boys into. I don't know. Strofe gave me some credit today. Everybody said Kyle.
I didn't say you
did
right.
say maybe Kyle's on to something.
Just for the drop. I was just trying to give him a play.
Also, you did agree with me earlier when it came to Lucas Van Ness against Brad. You did agree. You did say, "Whoa,
he took it too far." He took it a step too far.
I just appreciate your optimism in March on the first day of free agency, where these guys are acting like they're about to go 4-13.
Right.
What was Jason Wilde a bundle of joy about what their offensive line, defensive lines are?
Throw somebody else under the bus. Jason Wilde. Now.
I think
I'm just using what he said.
Just trying to protect their hearts.
He didn't say they're going to go 4-13. He just said, yeah, they probably
again. But I don't want to. If it's about not going 4-13, it should be about winning the Super Bowl. And if it's not about winning the Super Bowl, then you can't complain if they don't get to the Super Bowl based off what they're doing.
Well, sure, but it's been free agency for what, 5 hours?
Again, I think my frustration goes back to not even this moment of this day. It's how they got to the situation where their cap is where it's at, where you're not able to utilize more in free agency when you need to fill a lot of holes.
Got some money. We'll be all right.
We ain't broke, bro. We broke.
You said you're sick of being broke.
We broke, but we ain't broke. We ain't, eating the off-brand
ramen noodles like Brad didn't even know existed.
Off-brand cereal.
I had ramen noodles yesterday.
Well,
little snack.
We ain't broke as Strofe.
I haven't even.
We ain't as broke as Strofe.
It wasn't a broke thing.
Probably,
I just had them laying around. I was like,
but
it's a good snack.
Whether it's a good snack or not, for the analogy here, you're the broke
of the panel. That is fair.
And then we're at the Kyle territory right now with the Packers.
Oh wow, yeah, little broke old me. We saved. Me and the Packers saved a little bit. Yeah, and I did definitely save, and I save on my energy costs. And you can save on your energy costs as well by working with Universal Windows Direct. I'm telling y'all this right now. My experience with Universal Windows Direct was second to none. When Jamie Shea came to my house, he showed me all the different options for my windows. We sat down at our nice little table. He went through the pamphlet. He showed me the windows. He didn't try to upsell me. He showed me what was great for my house. And guess what? Right now, energy costs, fantastic. The energy bills might be going through the roof for some people, but not in the Wallace household. Why? It's because we have our beautiful Universal Windows Direct windows. And I want you to be able to experience exactly what I'm experiencing, especially with the tax refund season being here right now. And when you work with UWD, guess what? Right now, you can buy 2 windows, get 2 free. There's no limit. And on top of that, because they love you, you can get 24 months with no payments and no interest, giving you 2 full years to enjoy the comfort before paying a single penny. And this month only, they're offering $500 off your next home improvement project. Why wait? Call them now at 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Upgrade your home right now by using Universal Windows Direct. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Wheel of Strofe 3.0, baby.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
I had a good lunch today. I'm hydrated. I'm ready to go, so don't try me, bro.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound 41 is backing up from just before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. You're going to see more delays on the bypass heading southbound from Beloit Road down through the Hale onto 894 eastbound to Forest Home. On the westbound side, backing up from 27th Street to Loomis. And then on westbound 94, you've got delays from 27th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 38. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, chilly, showers likely by evening, a chance of thunderstorms too with a high of 42. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
I don't know what this means for the Chiefs. They can go back and Brett Veach can turn some magic in the draft again, which he's want to do. He's done before. But the Chiefs might be in that area of flux with their quarterback, world quarterback coming back from a knee injury. Travis Kelce, we're still waiting on a decision from him. The other longer in the tooth guys on defense, how much do they have left? What are they going to do on offense to get maybe more firepower? But losing Trent McDuffie, they also they're going to release Jawan Taylor. They made that news the other day. Interestingly enough, they released him one step early, which is on brand. Mahomes he's posted, damn. This gives voice to what's up. But in Brett, you got to trust. In Andy Reid, you got to trust. In Mahomes' rehab, you got to trust. And I think the Chiefs will be back at it sooner rather than later, because I always believe in them.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Mark Tosher here, and people ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
First day of legal tampering. Packers have released Elton Jenkins, re-signed Sean Ryan, traded Rashan Gary. Last week they traded for Zaire Franklin. No news on Quay Walker yet, where he might land. No news on Rasheed Walker. We'll keep you updated on all things Green Bay Packers here on Kyle Brust Nortman. Time now for the Wheel of Stro 3.0.
It's time for the
Wheel of Stro.
Another day, another buckaroo.
Guy bowls 139 and thinks he bowls a 300.
He's back. It was 2 weeks of being all sad.
Yeah, I like happy.
Yeah, I might have to change this.
He's plotting on your downfall, Stro.
Always is, man. Always is. He knows I'm a threat. That's why. He knows I'm a threat.
Oh, yeah.
Wheel of Stro.
I almost had you crying last week.
Oh, push-ups.
Are they push-ups for real? I know his arm's going to be exhausted, but Stro, we're going to work through these, all right, buddy?
Brad, go be the judge of the push-ups.
All right, here we go.
As Alex Strofe, I need an update on. It's very hot, and he's already made. He's saying it's so hot he can't do push-ups, which is very sad. But Alex Strofe has a workout challenge. He's trying to get 125 workouts by the end of 2026. What happens when Summerfest comes around and he wants to go to every single day? Oh no, he's slowing down. He can't get 10 still.
I mean, the first 5 look strong. It's like you peppered them. You didn't cut it out, but they didn't all look strong. Yeah, but you did do upper body yesterday.
Oh yeah, he benched. Scene of the crime.
Yeah, we did.
How did the scene of the crime go?
It's going to take a while. Right? Is that your new thing? Anytime anybody stutters for a moment, you go,
yeah, because you're just like trying to lie
through
through
it.
it.
Kyle 100 times today.
Because when you guys have the lying, when you have the lying voices, I'm going to call it the lying voices.
We going to get that boy right. I'm telling you this right now.
Do you feel confident about 135 by Summerfest still? 135 by Summerfest.
That's a steep hill.
It's 3 months.
We could have bet Homer $1,000.
We got 3 months, Kyle.
135 is steep. Let's just take it. Let's take it 10 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
So you haven't done 95 yet.
Listen, that's between him.
Come on! You guys are so soft.
We'll talk about it at Summerfest.
So you couldn't do 95?
I'm not saying.
I'm not saying. There's the lying voice. It's the lying voice.
You've been doing it like the last 3 weeks.
Because you guys have been lying a lot. You've especially been lying.
He's not lying. What did you say?
I said we'll talk about it at Summerfest.
See, he didn't lie.
No. Kyle,
you said
did you lift 95 pounds?
135 by Summerfest. We'll talk then.
So you just want to not tell the
95 ain't the goal.
I didn't
That's
say
part
yes
of the
or no.
journey.
Could you do 85?
Oh hell yeah, my boy pumped him out. What you
That's
talking
between
about?
me and my coach.
What you talking about?
So now you're lying too to my
I'm
face.
dead out. Stroke. I am not lying.
It's all between me and my coach. We'll talk at Summerfest.
Listen, I'm confident that Strofe is going to be good. Now 135 is going to be tough. I'll be honest with you. But 95, oh man, listen, that's a cakewalk. By the end of this month, my boy gonna be pumping out 95 like it's nothing.
Think about how crazy that sounds. By the end of this month, my boy is gonna be pumping 95.
It's easy. He was called. You know, he had to correct me at the gym because I kept saying 1 something. He said, Kyle, stop saying that. It's 85.
We got a steeper hill to
Triple
climb.
digits.
It's not 195.
Yeah, you ain't touching 95 in a lifetime.
195?
No, you're never touching 195.
His lifetime.
What did you do yesterday?
I only stopped at 155. I did 6 times?
We'll touch 195 together.
I promise you not. I could probably max it. I'll be ready to max 185 at least by then.
Wheel of Stro.
Maybe we need more push-ups.
The wheel is not as just as I thought.
Don't be scared, Stro.
In or out? Hot yoga.
Out.
Shoot,
I got yelled at in college. We were trying to.
He was out. I thought he was out.
Oh.
I want to be in on it.
Oh, in on the convo.
I want to hear how this goes.
In.
I participated in hot yoga on Saturday. I walked in the room relatively hungover. Had a late night Friday.
Oh.
It was about 95 degrees in that room when I walked in. I was wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. And I said, So I stripped down to what I was actually wearing, which was like a very thin t-shirt and some shorts. And I was still like, That's what I ended up wearing, though. I went in the very back. Dude, yoga's really hard.
All right,
Yeah,
can you
it's
be?
hard.
How long was the
Core
class?
balance.
Let me. How long was the
It was
class?
60 minutes.
I know
a
how.
long yoga
I know how
hot-
this
hot
goes
yoga.
when you do your first yoga class, especially your strength. And I'm just like, because I remember, it's hard if you've never done
hard.
it. How many minutes of the 60 did you sit in the child's pose?
What's a child's pose?
It's where you, like, if you can't do the exercise that they're doing, they just have you sit.
Oh, they didn't recommend that for us. I did everything. I tried my hardest. Now, I took some breaks because I was gassed or drenched and I needed to wipe myself off because I was slipping all over the place.
How many breaks did you take?
A few, but not that many. Like, I was a trooper for sure, but it was difficult.
This is why I need video evidence of every workout because you said so many lies.
My
throughout
legs
this
were
time.
shaking, and I think I was the only person in the class whose legs were shaking at one point.
You hold some poses now they'll get you.
I give it credit to these women. Yoga and Pilates, these women, they may not have
Pilates, very hard.
Yeah, they may not have like bulk strength, but these women have stability and core strength and balance. It's just incredible. It is. Shout out to women.
I don't know if I'll go back. I might, but it was difficult.
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't have the minute. I'm
And
too
also,
ADD.
can we just do normal temperature yoga?
No,
hot. First of all, it makes you more flexible. It's a cleansing.
It did cure my hangover.
Yeah, I'm sure it
I
did.
sweat it all out. But it was brutal.
So you just need to go to the gym with the sauna.
That's true. That's true.
Like the Princeton Club in New Pearl.
Yeah, you got to bring me yet. So that was my hot yoga experience.
All right, cool.
You ever been, Kyle?
No, I've never done hot yoga.
We went as a team in college, and the teacher, I have bad hips. I'm not like I have a torn labrum in my left hip since high school, so I had to couldn't fully squat and whatnot, and so I can't do some of these poses. And I was like, I can't do this. What can I do? And she's like, you haven't tried it yet. And she was yelling at me.
Good.
And so
Right,
I
hard
never went to
coaching.
hot yoga again. So she lost a customer.
Do you think Bo Ryan told her to go hard on you guys?
No, he didn't know we were doing it.
Oh,
yeah,
this is
just
a team
did it.
building
you guys just went
activity?
randomly?
Yeah, we're just doing the off season.
Will!
Oh, GBED or whatever.
GBED.
You guys did get better. I like it. Thank you, Ben.
Good spin.
Show it.
Oh, it's not red. I just don't know that
it's
I
like
want to
blue
do
or
green.
green?
It's blue. And then it went to green, but I don't want Ben to take over either. We're playing the one sentence game.
Yeah.
No.
One sentence.
One sentence rapid fire NFL free agency.
Was it a
day
Ben
one.
takeover for real?
No, it was actually the prediction one, but I wanted to talk about free agency, so I moved it.
Okay.
One sentence for the following signings. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Kyle, you ready?
Let's start with Bradley. He loves
Mike Evans to the 49ers.
Washed.
Wow.
Wow.
Brock Purdy with Ricky Pearsall, Mike Evans, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey is very formidable offensively.
Good sentence, Ben.
That is a good sentence.
I love it.
Good sentence. Good sentence. Eric Stokes re-signing with the Raiders, 3 years, $30 million.
Good for him, but the Raiders aren't going to be good for a while. They could just give somebody money who they think is good because they don't know what they're doing.
What a redemption project right there.
This is what bad franchises do.
Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker and Travis Kelce back for a year for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Surprising.
Chiefs
though.
are done.
Yeah. Well, they don't have their quarterback.
Chiefs are done.
He'll be back.
Wait a minute. When
That's
you
a
think he'll be
sentence.
back?
That's a sentence.
When did he tear his ACL?
December.
Same time as Micah Parsons.
Oh, it's the same week?
Not on the same week.
I thought it was like
a week
second to
apart.
last.
I think it was a week
And you
apart.
think Mike is going to be back week 1, week 2,
Yeah.
so why are you acting like Patrick Mahomes can't come back from this?
He'll be back, halfway through the season?
Why is there why is the gap between Micah and Patrick Mahomes that big?
Dude, I don't know. I just don't know how hard Patrick Mahomes will go in the gym. I know Michael Parsons is an animal. I hope. And listen, if Pat Mahomes is back to start the year, great. I hope so. It's just the quarterback position is so different. You're at so much more risk.
Last one sentence. Tua Tagovailoa of Atlanta.
He's
just
trash.
predictable.
Dumb organization again.
They're not paying him anything.
It doesn't matter.
He's getting paid $99 million. Isn't that awesome?
Nuts.
He needs not to be.
$99 million.
It's great, but he needs not to be in a situation like this. He needs to take a year to sit behind somebody, get himself together, and then move on. Not
He's
go
a
somewhere there's
competitor, though.
pressure.
He wants to play.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but if he sucks in the last of his career, maybe
Good call it by user. Calling Mike Evans washed is crazy.
Yeah, I'm calling it ahead of it.
This was the first season he didn't get 1,000 yards, and he was injured.
I know. I think injuries are going to start to mount.
And he's been
really good for a long time.
Somebody talked about the substation out there in the 49ers.
Everyone gets injured.
Yeah, and he definitely is.
Heck yeah.
Hack yeah, with the team at Robert Hack Diamonds. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, where I went for my fiance's engagement ring, and 2 in Brookfield, 1 on the north side, 1 on the south side. They made my fiance's dream ring, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing outside of a few directions she gave me a long time ago. And they can do the same exact thing for you, or whether your partner is posting things on their Pinterest page, or they've got an idea of what they want the engagement ring to look like. Robert Hack will nail it because they've been around for a long time in the Milwaukee area doing what they do best, and that is creating dream engagement and wedding rings for you. Visit them online, roberthackdiamonds.com, or at any of their 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, 2 in Brookfield. And just like me, at the end of the day, you'll be saying, heck yeah, because you went to Robert Hack Diamonds.
Perfect time to talk to Bryan Bulaga coming up next before the Homer Hour.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
Alan, you're now the second person to talk about another radio.
Don't be a...
He really hasn't.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You bid, they benefit. It's that simple. WTMJ's Kristen Bry here to tell you that WTMJ is hosting a silent auction for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission. And the auction is live now. Bid now at WTMJcares.com. Bid on game-worn Giannis gear, a signed bat from Brewers slugger Andrew Vaughn, and a golf foursome at Morningstar Golf Club. You score something amazing, local families get the diapers they desperately need. Auction closes Friday. Bid now at WTMJcares.com.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring. They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that? Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore. Just $998. Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Let's celebrate Milwaukee. Ewald Automotive Group's 62-year anniversary sale is on. This month, we're celebrating with anniversary savings on over 1,400 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Payments as low as $250 a month. Financing as low as 0%. Plus, 2 years of included maintenance on us. The Ewald Automotive Group's 62-year anniversary sales event. This month only at every Ewald location. Go to Ewald.
WaltAuto.com.
Select models with approved credit. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free in 24 months with no payments or interest plus $500 off. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Joining us before the Homer Hour on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is Super Bowl champ Bryan Bulaga. Bryan, what's up?
Not much, guys. How we doing?
Let's get right to it. If Rasheed Walker goes, which he's likely to, Jordan Morgan slides in the left tackle. You restructured Banks, you got your left guard. Sean Ryan resigns, you got your center. Anthony Belton's your right guard. And Zach Tom off of surgery is your right tackle. They re-signed Darian Kennard as a swing tackle. What do you make of that offensive line? It's kind of scary to me with the youth and the performance of Aaron Banks last year.
Yeah, and it's essentially we're essentially saying we're running it back with this. And so what you saw in the second half of the season, there must be a lot of confidence in the building with that group. And that's essentially what it's saying to you. And I'm not saying that there weren't good moments and there weren't good performances and things like that. But there's a lot of unknown with that group, to be honest with you. There's a lot of unknown, and there's a lot of we're hoping for potential growth and potential gains and higher level of play. And kind of what we saw down the stretch, right?
I don't like when you say the word hope so many times.
Well, that's essentially what they're going off. I mean, if we watch the last, 6 games, I mean, are we going to sit here and say that it was a great performing group? I don't think so. I mean, it's not really what I would say. But that's what the front office is saying, is that we trust in these guys. This is who we're going with. I found it. Listen, swing tackle is a very important position. Don't get me wrong. It is. You have to have a guy that can step in and do that. But there were plenty of opportunities for Kennard to play last year, and they chose not to play it. So there's just some things with that I'm a little, confused about. It's not, I guess, I shouldn't have an opinion on it, but it is what it is with it. There were opportunities, and he didn't get the chance to do it. I'm happy for the Sean Ryan signing. Listen, I get he got 9 games, right? Really, to interview for that job, and he ended up getting rewarded for it. I wasn't expecting that number, so to speak. 11 a year. I wasn't really expecting that. Obviously, good for him and his agent. They knew what the Linderbaum market was going to be, and they were able to make the most out of it. Right? Green Bay was in between a rock and a hard place with the center position, and Sean Ryan and his agent were able to make the most out of it. And so, congratulations to him in that deal. But I think Sean Ryan can be a really good center. I think now that he has a full offseason, he has the backing of obviously the front office and the coaching staff, that's going to be his gig. I think he can be a good center. It's just obviously we're going to find out once the games start rolling around.
Bryan, what do you want to see the Packers do between now and Thursday when we talk to you next?
Well, I'd like to see some defensive tackle depth get added and some guys. You get rid of, I believe it was Wooden, correct, in that trade. So that room's looking very thin. It's very thin right now. And I get you want to add through the draft, but those are still young players that have to learn how to play at the NFL level. And the physicality and kind of learning the game on the run with that. So I would like to see some depth added on the inside of the defensive line.
Bryan, when you think about this Green Bay Packers cornerback position, is that a position that you're concerned about going into next season? We've been talking about the D-line, we've been talking about the O-line, but what about the cornerback position, as there hasn't been any movement there so far?
Yeah, I mean, those are the three hot spots for the Packers right now, in my opinion, right? And you saw what the corner market's going at right now, what the Rams did, right? Like it's just a market that at this point is probably a little too rich for the Packers' blood, right? Like it just is. You want to go get a top corner, that's what it's going to cost you. And where they're at right now, it just can't be done. Now, can you add through the draft? Yeah, I mean, you got a second-round pick, third-round pick. You could find really good players in those rounds. But if you want, proven veteran talent, the price is high, right? Whether that's through a trade or now through free agency. I don't know who's left out there, right? I have no idea.
I think Tariq Wooden is still left.
Yeah, and how much that'll cost, I'm not totally sure.
Too much. Draft, you're right,
Yeah.
draft.
Yep. So that'll probably be the route they go.
Well, they had a lot of picks in 27, but not as many as 26. This offseason is going to continue to unfold. It'll be interesting, and we'll have Bryan on Mondays and Thursdays to help us with it. And you will get Bryan with Homer on the Homer Hour next. We appreciate it, Bryan.
All right, guys.
You can get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Dove through everything throughout the day for the last 3 hours. But to my left, he's going to take this seat as Homer. You got the Homer Hour in 2 minutes.
Yeah, when's Kyle going to say that Goody should get fired?
He won't. He didn't like him.
I'd say month-end season.
Earlier than that. Summer. He'll turn on him. He'll turn on him in a week.
48 hours before I get mad.